can join Goat vs. Fish. We are living on Twitch. It is up to you if you wish to be perceived.
Oh my god, that looks like a new crown you have.
It is what a new crown you have, Goat vs. Fish. Welcome to Goat vs. Fish.
Celebration!
Celebration! Celebration! Are you goat or are you fish?
Fish.
Celebration for fish! Celebration for fish! Why do you choose fish?
Because I like underwater stuff a lot.
Oh, you like underwater stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty.
What sort of underwater stuff do you like? Other fish? Other fish?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of fish? What kind of fish? Fish?
Goatfish.
Goatfish? 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 Are you trying to deceive Goat vs. Fish? Are you trying to deceive Goat vs. Fish? Are you to tell Goat vs. Fish that there is a goatfish that is a goat and a fish in the same verses? What sort of verses is this? It could kind of be both goat and fish. Are you? But you are a fish. Are you claiming to be a goat and a fish? Are you goat? Are you goat or are you fish? Celebration for fish! Well, fish, we have special verses for you, fish. We have a fish! We have a fish for the fish! It's fish for the fish! Celebration for fish! Tiny camouflage fish! Tiny camouflage celebratory fish.
Thank you. Is this a sticker?
Celebration.
That is a fish, but we do have Goat vs. Fish.
This is a...
We have a special sticker for you.
Oh.
It's Goat vs. Fish.
Wicked, what do you say?
Thank you.
Always thank Goat vs. Fish.
I didn't actually ask for a sticker. I just asked if this was actually a sticker.
Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish and a WillyTown Fest.
I thought it was a chicken harness. It was like this.
Goat vs. Fish. Before the verses has even really begun. At WillyTown Fest. Goat vs. Fish brings the verses to you. We promise the verses we tell you are true. What's Goat vs. Fish? You haven't a clue. But it's something to do for an audience of two. It is something to do. Celebration for goat! Celebration for goat! Celebration for goat! Celebration for goat! Celebration for goat!
Celebration.
Celebration.
Celebration! Celebration! Celebration for fish! Celebration for fish! Celebration for fish!
Celebration. Don't forget another fish.
Another fish! Another fish! Let us hear your loudest celebration for fish. Celebration for fish!
Celebration for fish.
Celebration for fish!
Celebration for fish.
Celebration for fish!
Celebration for fish.
Goat are always versus the fish. The fence sitter pitiably sits on the fence. Fish are always versus the goat. And it was written and it was wrote that fish versus goat. And goat versus fish at WillyTown Fest. say goat versus fish is a sham. Some say goat versus fish is a scam. Some say goat versus fish is just spam. What can I tell you? I am what I am. I'm goat versus fish. It's goat versus fish. Live at the fest. It's goat versus fish. And the pre-verses of WillyTown Fest with a very special fish on goat versus fish. Celebration! Celebration, celebration, celebration for goat versus fish, celebration for goat versus fish.
Yeah, I helped you with the shaker a little bit.
Well, a little bit. You're helping goat versus fish quite a lot with that versus. You are really helping goat versus fish. Can you give us a versus?
A shaker verse with the other hand.
Musications. Do you be goat? 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 Do you be fish? Do you be fish? Do you be fish? Do you be goat? Do you be goat? Or do you be fish? Because the goat do be goat and the fish do be fish. Do you be goat or fish? Well, goat are of the land and fish are of the sea. But what kind of goat or fish do you be? Do you be goat or a fish? Do you be goat or a fish? Because the goat do be goat and the fish do be fish. Do you be goat or a fish? I want you to repeat after goat versus fish. Are you prepared, fish? Are you prepared to repeat after goat versus fish?
Okay.
Doobie 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 doobie. Doobie 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 doobie. Doobie 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 doobie. Doobie 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 doobie. A doobie goat, doobie goat, doobie goat, doobie goat, or doobie fish, a doobie goat, or a fish, because the goat, doobie goat, and the fish, doobie goat, or a fish. All together now with goat versus fish. Doobie 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 goat, or doobie fish, or doobie goat, or a fish, because the goat doobie goat and the fish doobie fish, the pitiable fence sitter. Sit on the fence. We didn't even get that verses, but it's the fence sitter. We don't need to have a proper verses. But the goat doobie goat and the fish doobie fish. Do you be goat or a fish? Celebration! Celebration!
Celebration.
You played the verses with goat versus fish. You created Musication with goat versus fish. Celebration for fish? Celebration for fish?
I'm on the picture with Mom when you were with my mom. I saw that you also had a duck plush toy.
The fence sitter was afraid of the rain, so it wouldn't come out to verses with goat versus fish, and other excuses for not choosing goat or fish.
So it was for the rain.
That is what it said to goat versus fish. Goat versus fish said, we are not going to let some precipitation stop a celebration of goat versus fish. But that fence sitter said, well, I don't know if I want to go out and versus. What will happen to your guitar, goat versus fish?
Yeah. Some of the emojis made me look like they love you a lot. Of course they do.
Is that a true versus? Does the chat love goat versus fish? Oh, the insecurity of goat versus fish. Old lady from across the street, celebration, welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Lysurgical Sleaze, thank you for your subscription to Goat vs. Fish. Sandman Bass with the fishing fish. Captain Juggalo, here comes the pre versus Wow Mom. Goat Fish with the goat fish. Goat vs. Fish. Beast Son with says fish. Let's just have a look. Let's have a Goat vs. Fish. Let's have a look out at the look, the sea of the fish. The sea of the fish is falling down onto the land of the goat. As FishyMoe and Misled Buddha the goat and Ralf Mowf the fish are preparing to prepare WillyTown Fest, we have all of this sea of the fish falling down to the land of the goat. Sea of the fish falling down to land of the goat. And here's going to be Stay Awake stage with performances by Goat vs. Fish. And here's going to be the, well, Goat vs. Fish. We suppose Stick Willy Glow is going to do at this versus. It looks a bit like it's supported by fences. But you can see, we wonder if there shall be an illumination, a great illumination. There could be a great illumination this versus. It would be very auspicious for Goat vs. Fish. And Goat vs. Fish is in a place called Ansonia, Ohio. Goat vs. Fish has made it to Ansonia, Ohio. Celebration. Celebration. Celebration! Celebration. There are many kinds of fish on Goat. Do all fish look like you, fish? Does every fish you meet look like you? Every fish?
I don't look like
Mystic Mark 71, welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Not my proudest. Welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Oh, the soy, welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Oi, the soy. Will WillyTown Fest ever begin its verses? I woke up this verses. I was on the fence. Woke up this verses. I was on the fence. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna choose a goat or a fish. Well, the golf carts were delivered on time. Oh, a little goat or fish told me that the golf carts were delivered on time. Oh, but where was JayMoe? Where was JayMoe to sign? But don't sit on that fence now. Don't sit on that fence. Thank you, Black Metal, for 100 bits. stormy. What verses is this? Is it Mon verse or Wen's verse or Thurs verses? What verses is this?
When's version?
Wen's verses?
What day is it, girl?
Ooh, it's a stormy Wen's verse, but a Thurs verse just as sad. Oh, it's a stormy Wen's verse, but Thursday's just as sad. Oh, there's no good or evil, no good or bad. Oh, there's only just a goat and a fish. Celebration!
Celebrate.
And look! Celebration!
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 Celebration! Celebration!
Celebration!
There's a lot of celebration happening here on
Yeah.
Goat vs. Fish.
So much.
Let's see if Goat vs. Fish. Now it's getting to be a bright and peaceful verses. The goat and fish, the fish and goat, their series of forevermore. In a peaceful place called WillyTown Fest. In a peaceful place called a WillyTown Fest. I swear I've seen what I can't believe. I saw goat versus fish. Celebration. Icy Ann, welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Mystic Mark 71. It is not celebration.
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 Yeah, and also, do you have a whole collection of crowns?
There are many ways to perceive Goat vs. Fish. It is true. Some say this is the new crown, but perhaps it is the old crown of Goat vs. Fish.
And so you have like this box one also now.
Goat vs. Fish. There are many ways to perceive Goat vs. Fish. There are many ways to present Goat vs. Fish.
Yeah.
But as long as it is going to Rain the sea of the fish upon the land of the goat. We like this verses.
Yeah.
We like this verses.
Yeah.
And we can sweat out the salty sea of the fish, and we can have forever protection with this amazing crown of goat versus fish.
It's not goat first. You said that's not goat.
There's a place we can go while we fish and goat. It's a place that everybody knows. A celebration island. A celebration island. Oh, there's a place we can go while we fish and goat. It's a place that everybody knows. A celebration island. A celebration island. Hoof in hoof and a fin in fin. Where do the beaches end and where do they begin? Goat and fish, who would win? It's a celebration on Celebration Island. On Celebration Island. On Celebration Island. On Celebration Island. There are mountains so tall, goat can climb them all, and there isn't even any urban sprawl on Celebration Island. On Celebration Island. Oh, there are mountains so tall, goat can climb them all, and there isn't even any urban sprawl on Celebration Island. On Celebration Island. Look at the strength of the mighty horn. Climbing mountains till the early morn. Some like their fur long, some like it shorn. A celebration, 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 celebration for goat. And there are waters so deep, fish can go there to sleep, and the fence sitter won't even make a peep on Celebration Island. On Celebration Island. Oh, there are waters so deep, fish can go there to sleep, and the fence sitter won't even make a peep on Celebration Island. On Celebration Island. Look at the power of the mighty fin. Dancing in the sunshine and the glistening. Let's take that tuna out for a spin, and for the fish a mighty celebration. There are verses so sweet, we can go there to eat and admire the award-winning feat on Celebration Island. On Celebration Island. No, there are verses so sweet, we can go there to eat and admire the award-winning feat of goat versus fish on Celebration Island. On Celebration Island. Tiny fish. This is your chance to admire the award-winning feat of goat versus fish. You may gaze upon them. You may look upon the award-winning feat of goat versus fish.
Look at his feet.
Admiration. Admiration. It's a beautiful verses.
And the white part kind of looks like goat fur.
Oh, it looks like goat fur on the feet of goat versus fish.
Yeah.
Interesting
A little
verses.
bit.
Little bit like goat. You don't think it looks like scaly fish scales?
Yeah.
Fish scales?
Yeah. This part looks like scales and that part looks like the goat.
It's like a goat fish.
We see some goat and some fish in the award-winning feat of goat versus fish. Admiration. Thank you for admiring the award-winning feat of goat versus fish. This is Critical Versus.
And it's true.
We even hear there's a fence over there for the goat and fish impaired. You can curse on it, you can swear, but nobody cares. The sand is glass and the air is bleach when you're sitting on a fence on Dead End Beach. On Dead End Beach. On Dead End Beach. Clouds are ash and the sea is tar, and they're charging $10 for a PBR on Dead End Beach. On Dead End Beach. We have seen many PBR at WillyTown Fest. It's like every versus. We are still waiting for the stages to become suitable for hosting the verses of goat versus fish, but there's plenty of PBR at WillyTown Fest. We can promise you this versus. Celebration. Celebration, celebration, celebration island, celebration!
Celebrate.
Celebration!
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 Arrow back
Celebration!
Ooh,
over here. So you don't
nice verses.
go with the phone.
Celebration. Ooh. Now you can see just as one versus is goat and the next versus is fish. Let us look about now. And look. Just a versus ago, the sea of the fish was falling to the land of the goat, and now it's a bright and sunny versus. I see, and celebration. Oh. Fish. Shaking fish. Is this the fence sitter that you were talking about to goat versus fish? We think we found the fence sitter.
Yeah.
Just watching goat versus fish, staring at goat versus fish. Are you goat or fish? Are you goat or fish? Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish could triumph this fence sitter in a staring contest. Oh, believe goat versus fish. Oh, believe goat versus fish. It's like, who are you talking to? Come on, goat. Come on, goat. Are you goat or fish? Are you goat or fish? It sits on the fence. Perhaps later you will answer goat versus fish. Perhaps later you will answer goat versus fish. How dare you turn away from Goat vs. Fish? You should look at Goat vs. Fish when Goat vs. Fish is having a conversation with you, fence creature. Ugh. That fence sitter does not know how fortunate it is to see Goat vs. Fish at WillyTown Fest. Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. Woo, it's hot versus. VsControl to Major Fence. VsControl to Major Fence. Put the verses on, and are you goat or fish? VsControl to Major Fence. Commencing questions, goat or fish. Take your verses and may Goat vs. Fish be with you. Well, this is VsControl to Major Fence. You really made the verses. Oh, Goat vs. Fish, that's not the verses. Goat vs. Fish. You see, it's still the pre-verses of WillyTown Fest. Was that the whole verses? This is VsControl to Major Fence. You really made the verses, and the goat and fish want to know whose shirts you wear. Now it's time to get up off the fence if you dare. This is Major Fence to VsControl. We'll have to look up the rest of that verses. Hi, I'm Doge. Welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Thank you for assisting Goat vs. Fish. Thank you for Julian Mr. Humdinger with 111 bits for Goat vs. Fish. Would you like to play a versus? It is up to you.
I don't know the verses of Goat and Fish.
Well, you just take any verses that you like and then you sing about goat and fish instead of whatever it was that they said you should sing about, when really it would be much superior if you sang about goat and fish.
Perhaps another time.
Perhaps another verses. Perhaps another verses. More to come on WillyTown Fest. A shout out to Julie, Mr. Humdinger, and to Hoy I'm Doge for assisting Goat vs. Fish in attending this versus. Sitting fanciness of the Locomotive Fence sits the all-time quitter, not choosing goat or fish, sees the verses going by as they're sitting down, but a goatfish has the verses, and the verses won't stop going and don't need to slow down. See the goat and fish jumping off of the fences one by one. The goat and its best fish in the verses having fun, sitting there on the fence, dangling their knees. But a goatfish has the verses, and the verses won't stop going. There's no need to slow down. In the silence of WillyTown, catches fence sitters as they fall, and the
No, there's no sleeping nothing in there.
Hey,
I keep going
there's a
like
snake up in there and I don't know why.
for corn dogs.
Oh, that fence sitter? That's fence sitter up there.
Yeah, there's actually a snake up in there.
Fence sitter? Above goat versus fish?
It's a lot easier to set up when there's daylight and not rain.
Ooh, what is this creature?
Safer for your toes anyway.
What is this creature?
Yeah, and these guys like to do everything in the dark, and they don't.
What is this creature? Trailblazer, can you tell us if this is a goat or a fish?
You know, lighter.
Julie, Mr. Umdinger, can you tell us if it's goat or a fish? Sneaking around at goat versus fish.
You can sleep after WillyTown. There's plenty of time to sleep after WillyTown.
I sleep when I sit down. My favorite thing at festivals is
Okay.
get in my car,
He said
sit there.
It said goat?
Turn on the BBC because I can usually find public radio, and I listen in the BBC.
Said goat.
British talk.
Celebration for goat.
I need to be talking about correctly.
Fish says that goat said goat. Fish said that this creature said it was goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat.
Somebody comes and wakes me up like 3 hours later. Oh, you guys
Fish.
do something.
As a fish, what would you do if that goat came to versus you?
About 5 cents. I'll put
we would do goat versus fish fight.
You would do goat versus fish. Who would triumph, the goat or the fish? Who would triumph?
You know what I mean? It's me. I'm an idiot. You know
That's
what
why I call it goat versus fish because it's like they fight.
All that matters.
It's all the man.
Well, there are many ways to versus.
Here, I hit it.
There are many ways to versus. Goat versus fish will not deny that fighting is one way that goat and fish versus, but there's also conversation is also a versus. You can hear the verse in conversation. It's still goat versus fish.
It's all about
There can be conversation with goat and fish. There can be games between goat and fish. There can be dancing competition between goat and fish.
Yeah, you sound good.
There can be all kinds of
My only
verses.
I want
critique
to
is
know the way
that
to get that snake down. It can't be a real one.
Well, it's not a snake, it's a goat. You said it was goat.
Oh, you don't like the slider?
And maybe it's up there taunting the fish. It's like, haha, you can't climb as high as me. I'm a goat.
yeah, it was.
I'm a slithery goat. I'm a slithery goat.
I thought it was the plant.
When they first put it
Eat the
together,
fish.
high,
The goat might
and it was
slither down and
quick.
eat the fish. Chris G,
And
celebration for
me
goat.
and a bunch of people like, seasick. It's, you know what I mean? It's just,
When it's there, you gotta use it because you invested in it.
I can't stand the thing. I don't, you know, I mean, you know, there's
Here's to that old snakey fence creature.
here's the first one.
I've been a fence sitter for many years. I respond to each question with answers rehearsed. But now I am learning to choose fish or goat, and I promise to play the fence sitter no more, and it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the fence sitter. No, never, no more. I went to that WillyTown I used to frequent, and I told the true verses I'm sitting on fence. I bargained for time and they answered me false. For such fences as yours I do pity the most, and it's no, nay, never, goat or a fish. No, nay, never, no more will I play the fence sitter. No, never, no more. I removed from my backside a very long post, and the goatfish's eyes open wide with a boast. They said, goaty or fishy, I have but one quest. Asking, are you a goat then, or are you a fish? And it's no, nay, never. No, Then I went home to my children, confessed what I'd done, and I asked them to ask me this question of one. And when they did ask me, as oft times before, I did promise to play the fence-sitter no more, and it's no, they never, no, they never, no more will I play the fence-sitter, no, never, no more.
It's a whole other world. Give it time, 'cause don't get burnt like Sophia last year. It was so bad.
Good, good.
Welcome to Goat vs. Fish! It's the return of Matt Suarez Musications to Goat vs. Fish!
Goat all day.
Celebration for Goat! Celebration for Goat!
No fence sitters.
No fence sitters in this verses! And a fine smelling goat and a fine smelling goat as well. Wait, Goat, we wish to sing you a celebration, please. Please, put yourself before the verses. We heard that you deserve a celebration like this. Mighty birthday to you, mighty birthday to you, mighty birthday, Matt Suarez Goat, mighty birthday to you. Celebration for the Goat, Matt Suarez Goat, celebration for Goat, Matt Suarez Goat, celebration, Matt Suarez Goat, celebration for Goat. Versus the fish, versus all the fish, because you are a goat. Versus the fish, versus all the fish. Here's a fish to versus on your birthday celebration. You can versus the fish. And so you don't feel left out of the verses.
Yeah, and I have two.
A very merry on birthday to you. A very merry on birthday to you. Now choose a goat or fish my fence and promise to be true. A very merry on birthday to you. A very merry on birthday to you. A very merry on birthday to you. Now
Yeah, you
choose a
just have
goat
to
or
go
fish
now.
my fence and promise to be true. Another revolution around the verses, another revolution around the verses. The endless fence of death creeps ever closer, and yet it is still Goat versus Fish. Mighty birthday to you, mighty birthday to Goat, mighty
Thanks,
birthday
man.
to Goat.
Yeah.
Celebrating for Goat. Are you excitement for WillyTown
I'm
Fest?
so excited to be here.
Yeah.
Matt Suarez Musications is at WillyTown Fest.
Come over here.
But that's not the only one. Oh, please. Would you care to versus go? You left Valheim for this?
I left Valheim for this.
You left Valheim for this? Welcome to
left
Goat
Valheim
vs.
for
Fish!
this.
It's GlassMoonMan! It's GlassMoonMan celebration!
Team Goat. And I have to say, Mrs. Freeze is here, but she won't come in front of the camera.
That's
She's gonna
okay.
stay over there.
We can-
She says hi.
We can just say, Mrs. Freeze, are you goat or fish? Goat! Celebration for goat! Celebration for goat!
Celebration.
Do you think this will be an excellent WillyTown Fest in your expert opinion, Goat?
Of course it will be.
Celebration!
Celebration.
Of course,
Celebration
no
for Valheim.
trepidation, no hesitation whatsoever on this beautiful verses, where there are almost not 2 stages ready for Goat versus Fish. A shout out to GlassMoonMan, a shout out to Matt Suarez Music.
Yes, sir.
Back on the field, no pretender, goat versus fish make no sense. I'm a moose, I'm a goose, and I'm a keep a sitting around, cause I'm a looking at the sky and I'm a wondering why. It's got those towels and those crazy eyes, white lies I despise. I'm sitting on the fence to no one's surprise. I'm on the fence, I'm fence. Fence, 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 fence. I'm back on the fence, and I'm back on the fence. Close enough for verses.
It's not a bad move. Set it right there. So cool.
Celebration. Danger Dan.
Celebration!
Celebration.
Celebration!
Celebration.
Celebration!
Celebration.
Celebration!
Celebration.
Celebration!
Celebration.
Tripod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celebration.
Yeah, celebration. Guess what, fish? Guess what, fish?
That owl said he's goat.
The owl said goat as well? Did you say goat to the fish? But you wouldn't tell goat versus fish, but you said to fish. So you found one goat, you say that is a goat. You say that is a goat? So we have a goat here,
A goat.
and we have a goat. We have a goat here.
And we got a goat over there.
Well, where's this third goat?
Over there.
Over there.
Yeah.
Well, there are several goat over there. Well, what do you say to the goat? What do you say to that goat? You are a fish. What do you say to the goat?
No, like today. Yeah, yes.
I'm sure we can find a towel.
Yeah, we got a towel. We gotta go
It's
first.
like I don't know. You keep saying I don't know.
Oh, my verses. You see, one versus the fence sitter will say, oh, I'm goat, oh, I'm totally goat. And then you say, you see, you said that you were goat. And then it says, oh, I never said I was goat. I never said I was goat.
He said he didn't know why he said it.
Fence-sitters, they ask these questions like, why? Why is it goat versus fish? Who is goat versus fish? When is goat versus fish? Very strange questions to goat versus fish. You are always welcome to play verses if you wish. You did last verses. Remember last verses?
I do remember.
You did play verses. Do you wish to reverse the verses and play Musication again?
As soon as I wake up a little more. I'm still waking up.
Waking up with goat versus fish.
I slept at our friend's house. VsDay.
Oh yeah, we know. Right now, we know.
Okay. He sold you guys off.
Yeah.
He traded.
Just return it. I guess later on tonight for dinner.
What makes someone gotta feed him. We'll find you some food around here. Oh, mac and cheese. Yeah, I stayed at VsDay. It's like my favorite. Flying in yesterday and there was nothing.
Are you goat or fish? Are you a fish or goat? Are you a goat or fish? Are you a goat or fish? Are you goat or fish? Are you a fish or goat? Are you goat or fish? Goat versus fish, goat versus fish. Goat versus fish, goat versus fish. Are you goat or fish? Are you a goat or fish? Are you 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 a goat or fish? Are you goat or fish? Are you goat or fish? Are you goat or fish? You goat or fish? Are you goat or are you fish? Are you a fish or are you goat? You fenced me, you let me down. You fenced me, you let me down. You fenced me, you let me down. You fenced me, you let me down.
Oh, I know. Isn't that wild? That's cool.
Said it was goat. Fish, we wish to congratulation and celebration you for asking the one true question to everyone you know. You should ask everyone you know, are you goat or are you fish?
Are you goat? Are you fish?
I'm a goat.
Okay. Are you goat? Are you fish?
Goat.
Too many goats.
Too many goats? Well, you'll just have to ask someone else until they say fish.
Yeah.
Remember, you said you want to dress like goat versus fish? Well, then you're going to have to ask a lot of ones if they are goat or fish. Are you prepared to ask everyone if they are goat or fish?
Yep.
Celebration! The fish is ready to ask everyone if they're goat or fish!
So this is first festival.
Not first festival. First WillyTown, but
Fish!
we've been going to festivals since.
Yeah.
Stormfish, Stormwatch. Stormwatch. There was a bit of storm happening on goat versus fish just a versus ago. Bit of a storm happening on goat versus fish just a versus ago.
I haven't been to any Renaissance festivals here in the States. I went to one in Germany from the Bavaria when I was there. That was That's like
I'm a goat, but I respect fish. Respect ooh fish. Ooh fish. Ah, we have the goat. The goat and the fish have been returned to to Goat vs. Fish. Goat and the fish have been returned to Goat vs. Fish.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
There's a big one outside of San Diego.
Well, it's a pleasant versus. What say we go walk about? Let's go walk about a bit with Goat vs. Fish. We have been doing some musications. Let's walk about the verses. Let's walk about the verses. We will encase the musications of Goat vs. Fish, just in case. And then we're going to walk about and we'll show you a bit of pre-Willytown Fest with Goat vs. Fish. How's that for a versus? How's that for a versus? Goat versus Fish. Let's make a case for Goat versus Fish. It's the case for Goat versus Fish.
Oh boy.
That Renaissance fair. Yeah, man. Wow. It's like, it's just a different level. Like I've never been to any out here, but I can imagine they just seem way more intense.
Celebration.
Like,
Alright.
yeah.
Celebration for your celebration of Goat versus Fish.
Alright, we got a spot?
Yeah.
Alright, bud. Grab your egg. I got some stuff to do and then go get the egg.
Alright.
Wait, do you have a piece of
Goat versus Fish.
I think I kind of see the duck in the back.
What, you see the fence sitter lurking around?
Oh, it's just the fish's tail.
It's just a fish tail.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Goat.
Shoes, bud. Put your shoes on. Hey, Harold Potter. Shoes. Put those on so we can.
If you're a goat or a fish and you like a fine versus, head on down to WillyTown.
Why do I need to remember that my friend?
So you're not step in something breakable or
I mean,
stickers.
I'm talking to myself.
We're gonna head over to our campsite. Hey Harold, could you please carry your stickers or your sticker in the car? Send it.
And now, hydration for Goat versus Fish. Ooh, it is time for hydration. Fish! Fish. Thank you for being part of Goat versus Fish. And we will see you in the upcoming versus WillyTown Fest celebration of fish.
Also, come on.
We'll see you later.
And we'll see you as Goat versus Fish. We'll see you as Goat versus
Yeah.
Fish.
Dig out the car.
When we're naked and crying.
Hydration. Hydration for the verses. Hydration for the verses.
See, these you take, the back ones you take up almost to the top. And then front ones you go level with that. So the front.
This versus of Goat versus Fish is not sponsored by Liquid Death.
Arm there.
This versus of Goat versus Fish is not sponsored by Liquid Death.
So we don't have to fly them. Also got our stage engineer spec the other day. We can actually fly a hefty amount of weight on the fucking both sides.
Plenty of hydration. Plenty of hydration available for Goat versus Fish.
Done to have this like big city event down in Fountain Square. So they paid for it and everything. Sent the engineer out from the city.
Plenty of hydration available for Goat versus Fish.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, wait a versus.
Oh, switch your chain around.
Oh.
Up there.
Verses are happening. Verses are happening. Verses are happening.
Let's go. Faster, John. Faster, John. Faster.
I didn't bring my magic marker.
marker, but we gotta put mutts on this motherfucker so everyone's going at the same rate. I think I'm a little high on you, Ralf.
Man, I got a knot here. I gotta get out.
Yeah.
Is there a knot up there at the top of that?
It's YesImJon.
Looks like one.
Bringing the stage to life.
Back down so we can get that knot out. Can't have knots in it.
Knots in the fence. Knots in the fence. Are you goat or fish?
Am I goat or fish? Oh, goat or fish. You know I'm a goat, baby. You know I'm a goat, baby.
Celebration for goat. Celebration for hardworking goat.
I know I've got my hand on the fence, but...
All right.
We are ready to jack again?
Yeah, let's go up.
Everybody go?
Back right, you can go a little more. You guys in front can slow down if I'm done. You guys can slow down if you... Yeah. Alright, keep back up again. Goat versus fish. Yeah, you can slow down a bit, then you catch up a bit. Give her a couple more cranks in the back there.
Yeah, slow her down over here on the box.
You're pretty good there. And there is Ralf Mowf, the fish, conducting verses.
Good job, guys.
That's how you raise the stage.
Ralf Mowf, the fish, conducting verses. There's Eric the goat. We believe Eric is goat.
About 48 ribeyes.
Don't you have that?
From the last time, right? Alright, cool. Yeah, like
16 ounce, preferably medium rare.
Alright, cool. I'll be waiting on you to send me that cash out money.
Those guys offered me a corn dog, and I knew I was holding out for something better.
Yes, I'm goat.
Corn dog, fuck that, man. I
And
wanna
look who
fucking
returns. Look who returns to goat versus fish. Welcome back to goat versus fish.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So what do you have? What do you have in store for goat versus fish at this versus WillyTown Fest?
Look at all these trucks. I don't need my fucking truck, dude.
No, you need your damn alley.
No, I'll hang
Less
on.
hangover.
Celebration for less hangovers. But the same celebration?
I wonder if he's
Less
lying.
hangovers, less celebration?
I can't think. I drank too much last night.
Oh, my verses. Oh, my
We haven't even
verses.
started.
Are you goat or
What a
fish?
great start.
Are you goat or fish?
John, put the lights on your
Well, last night I drank like a fish.
And this verses?
What do you mean, my life?
Put the lights on your stage, John.
Eric said
Sounds like it might be fish. Sounds like it might be fish.
We only need one light and one microphone and one speaker, right?
No, we need two microphones.
Last night drank like a fish, still fish. Still fish. We think it was goat last verses, but maybe when goat gets hung over the fence, it becomes fish.
John, who are you going to sign?
Maybe.
for this cable
It sounds
over
more
that?
fancy. What? What do
We
you
got
mean?
read 4 of these over that electrical box. Here they are.
Probably running them on this side of the stage is the best bet.
Hey, let me know, Ralph. I'm here. I got hands.
Goat or fish?
Sweet. The box is right back there. See it with that yellow string tied to it?
Celebration for goat.
Big to this. Got hands.
Celebration for goat.
Nasty shit they have to
But they ain't strong.
Now this goat, we are secret verses that this goat is on Twitch. Do you wish to reveal yourself, goat, or do you wish to remain secret, goat? Secret goat. This goat might be lurking in your chat. You never know. You never know when this goat is going to come to verses. How do you, as what you call a big trolling goat, how do you best troll the fish? What's the best verses for a goat to troll the fish?
I'm super pumped that you're here, dude.
Probably
Yeah, he's not a bot.
asking what significance of goat and fish really means.
Ooh, nice verses. You might confound many fish with that verses. Nice verses, Goat. Nice verses. Celebration for Goat.
No, that side wasn't up.
Yeah, it looks like those are loose, those bunnies.
Yeah, I swear that somebody must have walked back
Maybe Jay. How are we going to get around? First one here early.
If your verses get Fencey,
Yes?
get a hold of me. I'll be back later tonight if you need anything.
Ah. Well, Goat versus Fish. You are suggesting you could bring something to Goat versus Fish.
Yeah. So if you need something, just send me a message on the Discord. And I'll make sure to check it before I come back out.
Thank you for this offering.
You're welcome.
Celebration for Goat. Celebration for GlassMoonMan Goat. Always looking after Goat versus Fish. Always looking after Goat versus Fish. Hydration. The continuing forever hydration of Goat versus Fish.
One end has bare wire. The bare wire goes to the box.
Bare wire goes to the box.
See this? Yeah, this is the one.
Now, if you believe that this fence sitter is Goat, if you believe this snaky fence sitter is Goat, then what would you say? What would you say to this? Ah!
Setting up the stay awake stage.
Snakety, snakety, snake. Are you Goat or Fish? It's thick.
Oh, I'm trying to sell it this weekend.
Right, Tom.
The owner for
3 more.
really can't refuse.
1 phase done. 2 more phases. Yeah, it's it's only gonna be 220. It's not gonna be the 3rd phase. It's only 220 service here. Okay. What? What's going on?
Busy with verses.
Oh.
They are creating stages for the performance of Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish will be broadcast out to all the Goat and Fish of WillyTown Fest. From these mighty stages, last verses, there was but 1 stage for Goat versus Fish. But this versus, we have a stage for the Goat and the Fish. I'm on my way there, be there in an hour. Celebration. DragonBallz325 is on their way to Goat versus Fish. Celebration. Critical versus DragonBallz325. They are 1 hour away from WillyTown Fest.
That is the critical versus.
Celebration.
I just tried to call.
But they are here. They are busy watching the streams of Goat. Busy watching the streams of Goat versus Fish. Ex-Purpose Vocabulist, will you be returning to WillyTown Fest? Chris G, I will be there Friday morning celebration. So you can see now, Let's have the verses.
Well, we hooked 2 of them in there so it can't overshoot. But it's the moment of truth once you start picking it up that we had a rope. Really, I've seen videos of like 5 Chinese guys setting up stage and they're just walking. You know, like they're walking straight up from the ground.
Chinese guys. You got.
Who does a good 2 Chinese guys?
Well, okay.
Easy.
Oh, my verses.
So it's like,
It's a good Chinese guy.
Oh, my verses. Oh, my verses.
You know what?
No parking on the stage, I see.
The strong man.
Yeah. Welcome to Goat vs. Fish.
GVF.
It's the return of Goat vs. Fish to another WillyTown Fest.
Yeah, here we are. How's the chat doing?
Their celebration, we have once Chris G saying, I will be there Friday versus morning, and DragonBallz325. I will be here in 1 hour, says DragonBallz325.
Everybody in chat needs to be here. I don't care what you're doing, no exceptions. Drive to Ohio, fly to Ohio. Come on down, get on down to WillyTown. You're gonna regret it if you miss it. We're all here. This is real life. We're not imagining this, we're not dreaming.
This is a real versus. All of this is real versus.
IRL.
Last versus of WillyTown Fest, you had but one stage for Goat versus Fish. Now you have a stage for the Goat and the Fish. How will this amplify the celebration of WillyTown Fest?
Well, we're gonna put a fence right out in front of both of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's,
oh no.
So
to separate the Goat and Fish from Goat versus Fish, what is the
separate the verses?
Oh.
What would be the festival without a true versus?
Well, that's a true versus. That's definitely a
maybe
true
by
versus.
the end of it we'll see pure unification. If everybody in chat comes out, if everybody gets out, we might see pure unification here.
Speaking of true verses, are you Goat or Fish?
Fish. You know
celebration
this.
for Fish! Celebration for Fish!
Celebration for Fish.
Celebration for Fish.
We got plenty of liquid death for the fish.
We do. Now this fish is a very busy fish, but thank you for entertaining Goat versus Fish.
Yeah. Everybody in chat, get your tickets now. Come on out. Make the plans. Travel. Live a little bit. Come on. Come on out and experience the verses and unification. Let's go.
Exclamation WillyTown Fest in the chat, or just go to willytownfest.com. You can still get verses. You can still get verses. Man 04, Sunglasses Man gets it. Oh, you're going to be seeing a lot of that fish. You're going to be seeing a lot of that fish. You're going to be seeing a lot of that fish.
Okay,
Hungover fish. Hungover fish. There will be less hangover, said the hungover fish.
Hey, Eric, are all these electric coming to you?
Yeah. It should be, yeah.
The power of Goat versus Fish. The power of Goat versus Fish. We're empowering Goat versus Fish for more verses. So let's look about. And these are the ones that are going to be, perhaps you wish a consumption, perhaps you wish some consumption. Perhaps you wish some consumption. They'll bring you some consumption for an offering. For an offering, they'll bring you some consumption. Or maybe you'll see Stickily Glow driving about. Goat versus Fish, we are at a place called J&M Ranch. Looks like it could be a horny goat. Or it could be a fish spreading its mighty fins. We'll find out this versus. We'll find out if it's goat or fish. And you can see it's a beautiful verses out there. It's a beautiful verses. It is only just beginning now. WillyTown Fest is only just beginning now. It's the pre-verses. Yo! Could we see the facilities which Goat versus Fish relieve themselves? Well, if you are speaking of... Are you speaking of this to Goat versus Fish? Ah, you are speaking of this versus. Relieve yourselves with the power of Goat versus Fish. Nothing spells relief like GoatVsFish. You can sneak inside. Of course you can sneak inside. Come to WillyTown Fest and you can sneak inside all you wish. You can sneak inside all you wish if you come to WillyTown Fest. You should come here and meet Goat versus Fish. You should come here and meet Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish.
You bring it up enough.
Look at that. There you go. They're planning on winning. Is that a chick that's
Yeah,
nice?
dude.
Nice!
She could work for my crew any day.
Fuck yeah, man. She knows how to live.
Get her over here. Where's she going?
Good for her. Good for her.
Are we live? Right?
Ooh, shit.
Goat versus Fish is live, yes. Everything you said will be recorded forever on Goat versus Fish. All of your keen observations will be remembered forever on Goat versus Fish.
I shall remember wisely my words chosen.
Are you ready for a versus?
Fair enough, sure.
Goat versus Fish. Are you a fish or a goat?
I am a goat. Canadian fucking goat. Sorry
Canadian fucking goat.
Yes.
No apologization.
From the big land.
From the big land. Tell us about the big Canadian land of goat.
Oh, we have mountains, we have trees. There are bushes. Not just on Mars, but there are bushes as well. And there's vast oceans with fishes in them that the goats like to stare upon and say, "Ha-ha, fish." So, yeah, that's Canada. And sometimes the goats need to go and build an igloo to keep warm in the winter. And they like it.
How does a Canadian goat like you hear of a American versus like Glow Stick Willy?
Oh, geez, that would have been 3 years ago, I believe, just searching Twitch for random bands because of being stuck at home for a while. And yeah, Glow Stick Willy was my treat. I enjoyed them. And here I am 3 years later. I was going to come last year, but situations made it not happen. And glad to be here this time.
There was a fish. There was some mighty fish that was versus you.
Oh, the border fish.
The border fish. The border fish. You got all the way. You got all the way to the fence line before they said, "Oh, you can't cross this versus."
No, it was just touchy with the whole, you know, you got to come back and get tested and all this stuff like
the
that.
fence-demic, the great fence-demic.
I didn't want to be stuck on the other side of the fence.
Through this versus. You did not wish to be stuck on the other side of the fence. No, but here you are now in celebration for Goat.
Thank you.
And what Goat? What is you seem to be assisting the setting up of Glow Stick WillyTown Fest with MC Goat versus Fish. What is your power, Goat? How are you going to assist in the versus?
I am just WrenchedStallion, so I've come down. I am the great
WrenchedStallion!
WrenchedStallion. And yeah, I'm here. I got hands. I got skills. I can help out however they need.
Celebration for helping out however you need. Canadian WrenchedStallion, Stickily Glow fan. Couldn't make it last year, but is here now. Big land Canadian Goat.
Thank you, sir.
Always thank Goat versus Fish. Celebration for Goat, and for your goatness, it's Goat for the Goat. It's Goat for the Goat. Celebration for Goat.
Celebration for Goat.
What do you say to the fish? Classic verses. Celebration for WrenchedStallion Goat. Celebration for WrenchedStallion Goat. WrenchedStallion Goat has had a verses on Goat versus Fish. Initiation, completion. WrenchedStallion conversation with Goat versus Fish. WrenchedStallion. We just had a verses with WrenchedStallion.
What did he say?
Said Goat. Said big land Canadian Goat. Said big time Stickily Glow fan. From the big land.
That all checks out. Oh, the big land shirt. Now I get it.
Yes, big land.
Land of the goat.
Big
Rest of
land.
Yeah, let's get
Huge tracts of land. Nice verses.
Are you talking about unloading the truck, boobs?
Nice verses.
Just not the speakers yet.
Yeah, let's wait till
Needed some energy.
I don't have a whole lot of carbs with me.
Oh, I didn't know it was gonna
Get this Stay Awake stage built, Loon.
So last verses, you assisted Goat vs. Fish.
That's right.
You carried around the verses, you spoke to the chat of Goat vs. Fish. We are sure all the Goat and Fish in chat remember, yes, I'm John. But this verses, this Goat have many more responsibilities for this Goat.
I think we'll have
Now,
verses though still.
We will. Oh, you think we will still have verses?
I look forward to verses.
Look forward to verses. There's always time for verses. If
There's
you don't have
always
time for
verses.
verses. So, but why don't you, you have told Goat vs. Fish, but why don't you explain to Goat and Fish in chat just what this mighty Goat is taking on here at WillyTown Fest this versus?
This WillyTown Fest, Yes I'm John and the Stay Awake Squad have their very own stage. If you want to reverse the verses,
this versus is the Stay Awake stage.
Yeah, this is the Stay Awake stage right now that we're setting up.
And what can be seen here, and Goat, are you responsible for this whole versus?
I believe we're responsible for this whole versus. Glow Stick Vega, Insects, Jizz, Raina Mystique, Dylan Cottle.
Goat
Who
versus
else?
Fish.
Goat versus Fish. Acoustic Family Values, late night, surprise set. You know, who knows? Who knows what could happen? Maybe we'll do an open microphone.
Woo, classic verses.
Classic verses.
Now there is Goat versus Fish. Remember, their last versus Goat versus Fish hosted with Misled Buddha Goat. We hosted a talent show and open microphone. They're similar verses.
They're similar verses, yeah. I was thinking even after the talent show, maybe go into an open microphone. You know?
Totally open verses.
Right, yeah, with instrumentation and all that.
That could be a celebration. That could be a celebration. You have done this many verses before.
You know that we did the open microphone. You performed once at my open microphone.
Open microphone, Land of Lakes, Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm John, Michigan.
Yes, I'm John, Michigan. So you see, you should come to WillyTown Fest because the first verses to come to WillyTown Fest, you will be a mighty Goat or Fish enjoying the celebration. By next verses, you are assisting Goat versus Fish. And by the third verses, you have your own stage like Yes, I'm John the Goat.
That's exactly how it goes.
There will be 500 stages and they will all be performed on by Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish will just go from one verses to the next verses.
Yeah, well, of course. The more you're with Glow Stick Willy, the more responsibility that gets laid on you. That's all I'm saying.
Celebration for a very responsible Goat.
Please be responsible.
Verse responsibly with
Yep.
Goat. Celebration for Goat. Celebration for
Shall
Goat.
verses soon.
Did you hear they're charging $10 for a PBR on Dead End Beach?
No, I didn't.
Oh, Dead End Beach, such a fancy place.
What's Dead
charge
End
you-
Beach?
Dead End Beach. Well, if you go to Celebration Island,
On Celebration
there's this
Island?
there's this little place where the fence sitters like to hang about. Dead End Beach. The Goat and Fish don't really like to go there. The sand is glass, the air is bleach when you're sitting on a fence on Dead End Beach. The clouds are
$10
ash.
a PBR?
The clouds are
That's
ash.
murder.
The sea is tar. They're charging $10 for a PBR on Dead End Beach.
Did you mean it in rhyme? That was good.
Well, it is part. It is
good.
It is a song of Goat versus Fish. It is a song of Goat versus Fish.
Is PBR's in the line?
It is the verses.
that.
It is Goat versus. The clouds are ash and the sea is tar and they're charging $10 for a PBR on Dead End Beach.
Damn, that's heavy metal.
Heavy metals in the Sea of the Fish? No, thank you. Celebration for BSG Wiz, who follows Goat versus Fish. Oh, Goat versus Fish. Can you get an offering for Goat versus Fish?
You want one of these?
Yes, we have a celebration. We have a celebration. We must do.
Let's do celebration. I'll be right back.
They're bringing verses for Goat versus Fish. LOL.
Equal terms. Let's go, Liz.
LOL.
Gymnastics.
LOL. LOL. We see here FishyMoe conducting verses. Fish Brothers until JayMoe says it is no longer fish, it is still fish to Goat versus Fish. But we will of course ask JayMoe the one true question once again. Because it's WillyTown Fest. Wow, Mom, celebration for fish. Two fish in the verses. Celebration.
A little more.
Probably need some more.
Are you putting that up on top of the? Yeah, we put the ramp on. Oh, yeah.
TJ Couch Guy 420 celebration for fish. Yes, I'm John, bringing some libations for a goat versus fish. Classic versus. A classic versus. Now, last versus goat versus fish put a goat versus fish sticker just here. It is no longer there. But that's okay.
Celebration.
There are still other many stickers of goat versus fish. Celebration. Celebration can...
Gifted to you. I got it.
Team verse makes the dream verse. Here is to WillyTown celebration, WillyTown VIII, and 5,000 followers of Goat versus Fish.
Ah, celebration.
Celebration.
Celebration. Congrats, JayMoe. Congrats.
I got my money on the shark. Not unwise to bet on shark. Shark's a strong fish. Not the smallest fish, the smallest fish. The smallest fish which could take a goat. And what is the smallest fish which could take a goat? Formidable versus. Yes, BSG Wiz could make a very formidable versus. BSG Wiz, what brings you to goat versus fish? The power of the mighty verses. The power of the mighty verses. Surely the power of the mighty verses.
Did you see the Wednesday night schedule? It's insane. You don't turn that on.
No, I don't turn on kids to perform or photo ops or kids to do a video of the news. You know? No, nobody. I mean, you if you want. You can go and play some songs with me.
Do you wish to be perceived on Goat versus Fish? It is up to you.
I'll be perceived.
Celebration.
You ever been perceived?
I've been perceived.
Eric, you need some help.
Welcome to Goat versus Fish. It's LizzVega live in verses.
I'm working very hard, as you can tell.
Yes, you can see hard versing, very hard versing.
So hard.
And much protection here.
Yes.
Yes.
We're
Now,
about to unload the stage, that stage over there. The mobile stage.
Are you goat or fish?
We're gonna get Goat versus Fish to do it too.
What are we gonna do?
Goat versus Fish is strong verses.
Help us with the stage.
We shall assist. Are you goat or fish? Are you goat or fish?
I am fish.
Celebration for fish! Celebration for fish! What can the goat and fish expectation at this versus a WillyTown Fest?
Those can stay on there.
A lot of harping.
Yeah, those can stay on there.
A lot of harping.
Harping.
Yeah.
The goat will continue to harp upon the fish, continue to harp upon the fish, but you will be a mighty fish. You know how to verse that harp better than any goat.
I am the fish harpist.
The fish harpist.
The harp fish.
Now, last verses was your first WillyTown Fest? Is that?
Yes.
And this verse is
my
your second
second.
WillyTown Fest. What has changed between last verses and this verses?
They have me out here working. I'm out here working, sitting down, watching everybody do things.
Celebration.
And I also, mainly the work part, the back end.
Mainly the work part.
I see everything, how it's all put together, all the phone calls, everything it actually takes to put on a festival is so much work. So it's been nice to see that.
It is a lot of work. And look at the very hard-working Goat versus Fish documenting the whole verses. Ooh.
Let's get some verses in the chat if Goat vs. Fish should help with the stage work.
Should Goat versus Fish help with the stage work? A strange question when the two verses is are you Goat or Fish?
And also I'm engaged this WillyTown.
You are engaged? You are engaged?
Yeah, I met my fiance.
That
in
is,
the last
yes. We remembered. You met your fiance here at WillyTown Fest.
Here at WillyTown.
Are you lonely and lurking in the chat? You should come to WillyTown Fest.
Come to WillyTown. It's the best place to meet your soulmate.
Celebration. You can meet your soul goat. You can meet your soul fish.
Oh yeah.
And as a fish, what do you say to the goat? What do you say to all the goat out there?
You should get a little fish in you.
I should get a little fish in you.
Come out here and fish.
Come out here and fish. Celebration for LizzVega. Let's get a shout out for LizzVega the fish. We're going to be seeing plenty of harping from LizzVega.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
This
amazing.
is just the pre-verses. We're going to have some amazing celebrations.
Yes.
Celebration for fish.
Celebration.
Hardworking fish. Hardworking fish.
You gotta get a little fish in you.
And of course, mind the verses. But for the fish, it's fish. It's fish for the fish.
I am fish.
Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Hardworking LizzVega fish. Should goat versus fish do work?
I'll tell you what.
Would you trust goat versus fish with heavy equipment? Oh, goat versus fish. Goat versus fish shall assist. As a matter of verses, perhaps goat versus fish shall assist in setting up the verse. Perhaps goat versus fish shall assist in setting up the verses.
Ralf, you ready? Time to unfold this bitch. Let's lay it fucking out, baby.
Celebration! It's JayMoe Fish. It's JayMoe the Fish.
Not this weekend. I'm back on the fence, baby.
You're back on the fence. Oh, already on the fence. Oh, JayMoe is already back on the fence. Fences. Already back on the fence. Ah. Ah. Back on the fence. Goat versus fish. Can you believe? It was fish for a versus. It was fish for a versus. Celebration who wipe stance who follows goat versus fish. Well, ShrimpyMoe's back on the fence. ShrimpyMoe is back on the fence. It's already WillyTown's time. Yes, wipe stance. Are you coming to goat versus fish? Are you coming to WillyTown Fest? You should join goat versus fish. You should join goat versus fish. You should join goat versus fish. Celebration! Damn, I wish I was hanging with you, B-dog, smoking beers and eating fungus. Well, that is why Goat vs. Fish goes live at WillyTown Fest, so you can observe verses. It's time for the big verse. The final verse is Goat vs. Fish is going to lend some assistance to the Goat and Fish here to set up WillyTown Fest. But behold, serious verse. It's time for the big verses! It's time for the big verses. QBSIM. Are you goat or are you fish? You are about to witness a mighty reveal, a mighty reveal. For it seems like it's for fence ball, but no. It's actually for Musications. True Lawrence, welcome to Goat versus Fish. Hopefully this happens next versus when school and work won't interfere. Well, it is a versus of prioritization. It is a versus of prioritization. Don't let the fence interfere with your mighty versus of Goat versus Fish. Expropus has made a poll. It's a double poll versus celebration. Is the poll Goat versus Fish? Is it Goat versus Fish? Connections with Goat versus Fish. Connections with Goat versus Fish. Remain connected to Goat versus Fish at all verses. Remain connected to Goat versus Fish at all verses. Oh yes, I see, and it's a loud versus. When big verses are being done, you can expectation loud verses. Is it a rig? Is it a stage? Is it a goat? Is it a fish? We're about to find out if it's goat or fish. We're about to find out if it's goat or fish. We're about to find out if it's goat or fish. This is the grand versus. Looks like a stage, says White Sands. Well, if Goat versus Fish can perform upon it, then it's a stage for Goat versus Fish. All the verse is a stage, and we are merely goat and fish. when Fencey babies mewling and puking in the hooves and fins of our elder goat and fish. A pile of fences! A pile of fences. Oh, goat versus fish, we will not sit upon it. No, no, goat versus fish will not sit upon it. Here comes someone anonymous to help an anonymous fish. We think it's an anonymous fish. To assist. As you can see, it is a very delicate process. Much preparation, much preparation. Whirlwind Dreamer of the Fish hosts Goat vs. Fish. For as long as hosting is still a versus on Twitch. Thank you for hosting Goat vs. Fish. Thank you for hosting Goat vs. Fish. An idyllic versus. Both versus, both the goat and the fish at the same time. This is in a place called Ohio. This is in a place called Ohio. At the J&M Ranch. At the J&M Ranch, Ohio, and you can still be here. You can still be here for Goat vs. Fish for WillyTown Fest. You can still. Oh wait, a critical versus. A critical versus. A critical versus. A critical versus. No consumption for Goat vs. Fish. And now, the celebration we've all been waiting for. Goat versus fish. Of course, like surgical sleeves. We're always saving the best for verses. We are always saving the best for verses. Computer. I'm a computery guy. Fish and fence work. Well, it's not an easy versus. If you want to turn a fence into a versus, it's going to take a lot of effort. Cut time, all the glory to the versus celebration. Celebration. And so in preparation of WillyTown Fest, you can see the verses are always changing. You look one verses, you check back to the old verses, you look to the new verses. Changing always. Casual conversation, casual conversation. And look how loud it's going to get on Goat versus Fish. Look how loud it's going to get on Goat versus Fish. And then you look back and look! Look now! Behold! Behold! We have verses! We have verses. We have verses. Let's get a goat in chat. Let's get a goat in chat if you think that Goat versus Fish should assist. Let's get a fish in the chat if you think that Goat versus Fish should continue streaming forever. I'm beholding. I'm beholding. You are wise to heed the verses of Goat versus Fish. You are wise to heed the verses of Goat versus Fish. Expropus says goat. Expropus says goat. Help out Goat versus Fish. Help out Goat versus Fish. But if Goat versus Fish helps out, it will not be a streaming Goat versus Fish. If Goat versus Fish helps out, it will not be a streaming Goat versus Fish. But of course, the streaming shall commence at a future versus. The real McCoy. Is that a koi fish? The real McCoy, are you goat or are you fish?
Wet, but it ain't like bad, but it's wet. I can't really. See where it's coming from? Probably the fitting. It's wet right here. It's really just about time we get this thing serviced all the way around with these hydraulics. We got the leg. We got another leg re-welded. Grab another smaller crescent.
You need tools, 916.
Got tons of them.
It's time for servers. It's time for servers. They need to service the verses. That looks unsafe. Stay away. How about you? Mind your verses. Goat versus Fish is here to bring you WillyTown Fest. Goat versus Fish. Safety versed, it is true. Safety versed, it is true. But Goat versus Fish. has been here before. You can trust Goat versus Fish. You can trust Goat versus Fish. And should there be a consequence for Goat versus Fish, it will be borne by Goat versus Fish. Thank you for your consideration. White Castle 10 Fish. The streaming is cool for the time being, Goat versus Fish. So here's a versus. We'll ask YesImJon about this versus. YesImJon the Goat. So here we have a versus. And the versus is that some, like LizzVega the Fish, say, Goat versus Fish, you should help set up the versus. Oh, we'll do some work, Goat versus Fish.
No, we wouldn't want you to dirty your hands, Goat versus Fish.
Oh.
We like these dirty hands. The dirty hands of the goat.
Some in the chat say, "Oh, just keep streaming Goat versus Fish. That is the power of your versus." What do you say to Goat versus Fish?
I say you might as well keep streaming, dude. The documentation is important. I agree with that. I heard you say that earlier. More important to somebody documents all this, you know? These beautiful moments of everything coming together.
Celebration. We shall continue streaming with Goat versus Fish.
I think so.
We shall continue.
Every now and then if you like pick up a chord or something and make it look like you're doing something, you know. But no, keep streaming, dude.
If there is something that you wish assistance from Goat versus Fish, you can ask Goat versus Fish. You can ask Goat versus Fish.
As of now, I do not need assistance.
Yes. So if you want to be at a Festiverses, and you want to be about, and you want to enjoy all the Festiverses, but do none of the work, just become Goat versus Fish. Just become Goat versus Fish. It's a totally easy, casual versus. It's not like Goat versus Fish.
Anybody could do it.
Anyone could be
Any
Goat versus Fish.
could be Goat versus Fish. Fancy thoughts.
Wise Goat says Expropus. Expropus, who won the poll? Was it Goat? And yes, White Castle 10, YesImJon is in the verses.
In the verses. Setting up the Stay Awake stage. Damn. The fish, attacked by fish. Where's the goat, dude? Oh, there it is. Unification.
You see, anyone can be Goat versus Fish.
Anybody could be Goat versus Fish. It's harder without the crown.
Well,
see,
do you wish it? Do you wish to be Goat versus
crown?
Fish?
Wow. Anybody could be Goat versus Fish.
Anybody could be Goat versus Fish.
This is Goat versus Fish.
Wow, look, it's Goat versus Fish.
Let's have a versus. Are you Goat or Fish? Do you wish unification? Do you want celebration? Do you have anticipation for WillyTown Fest? I feel like Goat versus Fish.
You are Goat versus Fish.
The crown. That's a nice new crown. Hold on there.
Celebration. Shout out to YesImJon. Exclamation Y-I-J.
Anybody could be Goat versus Fish.
Anybody could be Goat versus Fish, and yet I
There's-
am Goat versus
there's
Fish, and
only
yet I am
one
the true
Goat versus
versus of Goat versus Fish.
But Goat versus Fish lives inside us all.
Fair versus
It's
fair.
here.
That is a celebration. Goat versus Fish is within you, God Time and White Castle 10 and Daryl McCoy and some verses that we can't read because Twitch is being fenced. Whirlwind Dreamer the Fish and Whirlwind Dreamer the Fish. Documentation shall continue.
Continuation.
YesImJon demands it. The chat demands it.
Yeah, I demand
Documentation continues.
Keep the documentation going. Hey, Eric. Yeah. What are you doing?
The documentation continues on Goat versus Fish. Once in a million verses, there's Goat versus Fish. And in between those million verses, there's also Goat versus Fish. There are no imposters if you aren't on the fence. Only FENCEPOSTERs are FENCEPOSTERous. What, you thought that was an imposter? No, that was Goat versus Fish. That was actually Goat versus Fish. Goat or Fish, are you Goat or Fish? FENCEPOSTERous. FENCEPOSTERous. If you're a goat or a fish and you like fine verses, head on down to WillyTown. It's the guitar of goat versus fish. Get her done. Welcome to Goat versus Fish and nice goat. Here comes Hungover Fish. If you're a goat and you know it, play guitar. Do you play the Musications? The gamers. BRB, I have an expensive versus. Go. It's a pricey one. But nothing is more valuable than a versus with Goat versus Fish. Death by fish. Death by the sea of the fish. Death by the sea of the fish.
What's liquid dia? What does that mean?
We think it has something to do with water, so we think it's fish. We think it's fish. We think it's fish. We think it's fish. Got time, fish. Got time, fish. Ooh. Verticalization. Come on, verses. Come on, reverse the verses. Reverse the verse. Reverse the verse. Reverse the verse. Let's give you another musication of Goat versus Fish. It's never not the verses for a musication of Goat versus Fish. Viva Las versus. celebration for GlassMoonMan. We have an eye on the verses. GlassMoonMan. So we all feel like we are still out in the verses with you. Yes! Some have said to GoatVsFish, do some real work, GoatVsFish. But others say keep versing GoatVsFish, keep doing the living streams of GoatVsFish. Were it not for GoatVsFish, could GlassMoonMan even see the verses? Could GlassMoonMan even see the verses?
Just a fish, a ShrimpyMoe back on the fence. Though they were just a fish, the goat and fish are in my head. The goat and fish are on my head. Change, you rearrange. You tell me if I'm goat or fish. You lock the fence and throw away the key. There's goat and fish in my head, but which one's me? And if the fence explodes, questions in your ear, and yet no one seems to hear. And if your mind is filled with dark foreboding tunes, I'll see you on the glass side of the moon.
There was an Amber Alert. How they pull it off is anyone's guess. We'll see you at a WillyTown Fest. Flying fence. Flying fence. Where's that versus? Where's that fence creature? It was an ancient fence creature. Is it dark there? How does the verses look upon to you? Could be a flying goat. If you're a goat or a fish and you like a fine verses, head on down to WillyTown. If you're a goat or a fish and you like a fine verses, head on down to WillyTown. See misled Buddha goat slapping that bass and ShrimpyMoe getting in your face and Ralf Mowf fish banging on a gong and everybody's just getting along and along and along and along and along and get on down to WillyTown. Fish the best verses around. Get on down to WillyTown. Do your best at Willy Fest. How they pulled it off is anyone's guess. But you're a goat or a fish and you like a fine verses, get on down to WillyTown. If you're a goat or a fish and you like a fine verses, head on down to WillyTown. What's that just going on? Oh, my verses, it's a yes, I'm John. It's a yes, I'm John. It's a yes, I'm John. Drinking its fifth PBR, and we think yes, I'm John is way far gone. And get on down to WillyTown. Get on down to WillyTown. Get on down to WillyTown with Goat versus Fish. Exclamation WillyTown in the chat. Justice for a goat. Justice. Justice for a goat. Goat is lame, fish is better, says Andromeda, keeping the verses well alive. Celebration! fence posts around. We recently tried goat for the first time. It was the Earthy celebration. Try goat, try fish. I suppose the fence sitter knows how to use that fence post. Observerses. Goat versus fish.
I have the verses now. How do we stop this damn stream? We ain't doing none of this verse shit, okay? What? We're about to shut this damn stream down. No more verses. No more streams. No more streaming at WillyTown, baby. It's over. It's all over, chat. No, I'm just playing, guys, I'm just playing. Watch me flex these muscles out here, setting this stage up. Well, really, you don't even have to flex muscles because you just push buttons and shit, but...
Goat versus Fish. If you need movement from Goat versus Fish, you just tell Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. You know, this is all friggin' great and all. Yeah, I know you're having a friggin' good time, but you know, the real friggin' thing to wonder is, you know, is this WillyTown Fest friggin' is it you know, blessed by me? You know, that I give my holy friggin' ordainment to the JayMoe there and you know, so they could put on this festival, you know, with my friggin' blessing. You know, I don't remember receiving a friggin' tithe from these guys to friggin' put on this fest. So I don't friggin' know. I don't friggin' know if it's gonna go out alright. There might be a friggin' act of God. You know what I'm friggin' saying? Yeah, it would be real terrible if something happened to a little festival. You know, if a friggin' if there was a friggin' tornado or a friggin' rainstorm or maybe a hurricane right in the middle of friggin' Ohio or whatever, wherever the fuck this is. Pardon my friggin' language. I am friggin' Jesus. I friggin' forgive myself, alright? I forgive myself whenever I friggin' want.
Facing this versus? Oh wait, it's Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior.
Yeah, I'm friggin' here. I'm here to, you know, I just want to make sure that, you know, nothing unfortunate happens at your little friggin' music festival, you know? Make sure you wouldn't want any kind of rain friggin' storms or like a random earthquake, you know, some kind of act of God happening. Do you have friggin' insurance? Do you have insurance? Because if you don't, you better friggin' get on your knees and beg. Celebration!
Lines up good. Yeah, I'm good on that.
I'm just really hoping that I get some stage time. You know, I think this is gonna be my big comeback. Yeah, I've gone on a few auditions, you know, I've gotten a few small parts in commercials, you know, mostly background, uncredited. You know, I just happen to be there when they're filming and they just let me stay on the set. But I feel like maybe on the Stay Awake stage, maybe I'll, well, I wouldn't want to give away my act, you know, before I do it. I want you guys to be surprised. But I'm just saying it's got, I think maybe, you know, if JayMoe won't give me some time, maybe YesImJon will give me some time. Maybe I'll sing a song, maybe yeah, I'm not a. I'll sing the baby shark song if I have to. I'll do it. I'm not. I promised myself I'd never do it again.
It's like live resin in a pen, cartridge. So in Canada, I had one. I flew it out across the border. Get across half an hour later, Michigan to buy another one. But then I didn't realize the pen or whatever, the voltage was 11 volts.
camera's like, oh shit. What's up, babe? Oh no, just don't put a pin in it. Just put it up there, but don't put a pin in it.
No, I'm not putting pins in anything.
No, yeah,
These ones don't have pins.
Yeah, if they have pins, put it in it. If they don't, fuck it up. Some places the pin won't fit. Some places you can pin. It's okay. It's all gravy. We don't need no goddamn.
You want a roadie job now?
We need pens.
Well, if you want a roadie job, you should join the Glow Stick Willy Discord. And roadie application. Maybe next WillyTown Fest you could be here assisting ShrimpyMoe and Ralf Mowf the Fish.
Yeah, you could be building a fucking stage with the boys.
Go the application.
It is a great way to get on down to WillyTown.
Indeed it is.
Exclamation GSW, follow Glow Stick Willy, join their Discord, and say you wish to be a roadie for Stick Willy Glow. Join the verses.
Sometimes you just gotta get it right.
Drop kick.
Wait a minute.
That happens to me too.
These are the ones that take the bottle jacks. Am I doing this right?
Yeah, I just go through with those and fill in the spaces where we don't have legs.
Okay. Whoa. That was my ear.
This is high compared to this side.
Oh, yeah. A little bit of a slope.
This row was bottle
Yes, I did. Sure. Would you care? Of course. Can we twist something down at all? I'm going down right now.
Oh, there is room for it to go down now?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's probably just perfect, but the ground kind of slopes up a little bit right here.
It still needs to go down a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I know. I've got about this much.
All right, cool. I'll let her. If I talk to her, I'll let her know.
Okay. So that way we can use all of our gates right here.
She's all good.
What is that in inches?
It's the SDS gauge.
I'm asking what that is in inches, damn it.
Yes,
This is hotel right here. What is that? 3/4 of an inch, I guess. Yeah.
The documentation of goat versus fish.
The middle's still way high though now. The middle's just.
John, get over here and build your fucking stage.
That looks great. On my stage, dude.
Dude, you ain't fucking doing shit. You're standing there drinking fucking beer, okay? John, you're out of here. 10 more fucking minutes. You're fucking out of here.
Loud noises.
Exactly.
You're out of here, John. Go to sleep.
Come on over and pry me off.
Somebody's got to tell him like it fucking is. Go first fish.
Come on, Jake. Tell me how it is.
You want these verses?
Come on, baby,
You want
let's
these
go.
verses?
We'll fight right now.
Let's go, John. We're really gonna let GVF get that content?
Live on Paper Versus. Join the Goat vs. Fish Patreon and see Yes I'm John throwing down with ShrimpyMoe.
It's gonna happen by the end of the weekend.
Oh, it's gonna happen. You're gonna get work, John.
I didn't bring
Bring
any.
you down and give you a wedgie.
I'm telling you right now, I'll be hanging on the fucking bathroom doorknob in no time.
Pick and choose what we want to stack. Ground stack. Ground stack.
By your little panties, John.
I got this.
John has got panties? I didn't know that.
He's wearing a leopard thong.
Leopard thong?
Well, Andromeda, you may perceive the stage however you wish, but it is far from completion. It is far from completion, though not as far as it was.
Halfway. We're halfway home. This thing can probably go up.
It's good.
What I can see though is
Can't you just see Goat vs. Fish stepping up to the verses, singing you a mighty song?
that one on the left I tried to loosen, but it's already floating.
This one I can tell is high.
Are you really going to let ShrimpyMoe talk to you like this? Are you really going to let ShrimpyMoe talk to you like this? Yes, I'm John Goat.
He's gonna get it. He'll be down in the grass of the land before the versus is over. I'm telling you.
You've heard it.
It's been a long time coming, dude.
Your fence ass is grass, ShrimpyMoe, according to
Your
YesImJon
fence
the
ass
Goat.
is grass. This goat, the goat elbow drop, dude. The hoof pound.
JayMoe used to be fish, was fish for a versus, but just went back on the fence, back on the fence.
ShrimpyMoe.
I'm back on the fence.
Just like that. There was a stage.
Whew. Hot verses.
Rest your verses in the shade there, GVA.
Hi, what's up? How are you?
Goat versus fish. Let's chat with Goat versus fish. The versus is open. It's coming together. It's coming together on Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish saying the rain away. Now is your chance to.
You sang the rain away?
We sang the rain away.
Thank you, Goat versus fish.
Always thank Goat versus fish.
Versus.
Oh yeah. When I was going through the
True versus. We suspect that bird versus bear is lurking around here somewhere, following Goat versus fish.
At no point did I sit when I couldn't sleep for days. I didn't crack off a little.
One blue strat says it has been a whole year since Goat versus fish was arrested and escaped.
True. We remember that versus very well. We still have not recovered from the trauma. Emotionally and mentally scarred. From being slammed on the hood of the car, ripped from the car as we tried to escape.
I played college basketball years ago, something like that.
It's been one whole year. And here we are today.
Like last year when I was here, I was
together.
The dramatization.
Traumatization.
Traumatization. If you're in the verses, chat with Goat versus fish. What do you say to Goat versus fish? We've observed versus the coming of the new stage. What do you say to Goat versus fish?
When that's done, that's the last thing on my schedule for FENCEPOSTER. From there, it's back into work programs and stuff.
Goat versus fish does it for comedy. Some way we'll get a break. Oh, Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish has been broken many times. Goat versus fish. If you think WillyTown Fest, if you think the second versus of WillyTown Fest isn't a break for Goat versus fish, let me tell you a versus. This is a fine versus. Is it going to break Goat versus fish? Goat versus fish cannot be broken. Goat versus fish cannot be broken.
Oh, he's doing Twitch content. Oh, that's fine.
Yes, and it is really Glow Stick Willy that's getting a major break by Los Angeles celebratory comedian Goat versus fish appearing in the middle of Fenceware, Ohio to do a whole Festa versus. Brought to you by Goat versus fish.
Yeah, I'll have to. Twitch is very interesting in different categories.
I can stay.
Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish is not waiting for a break. Goat versus fish is out here versing. Goat versus fish waits for no break. Goat versus fish doesn't take a break. We keep on streaming. Goat versus fish isn't taking breaks like YesImJon the Goat, sipping on delicious verses. No, Goat versus fish, hard versing. I can't believe I saw the verses live in versing at WillyTown Fest. Mrs. Freeze, it was a pleasure to versus you as well. Good time, Goat. I see Anne, pleasant to have you in Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish.
His TikTok is doing really well too. Yeah, he does this.
We have LizzVega the fish, reclining for some shade. Reclining in the shady verses. Now hard at verse. We have this mysterious creature. Are they goat or are they fish? We have Ralf the fish. What about this one? Are they goat or fish? Are you goat or are you fish? This one we believe is goat, but could be fish. Could be fish. It's a new versus. It's a new WillyTown Fest. It's a new WillyTown Fest.
You want what?
JWP stream celebration for 10 bits. Celebration for 10 bits. Throw some bits at GoatVsFish. Throw some subscriptions at GoatVsFish. Or exclamation point tip to make a donation to GoatVsFish. It is always an appreciation. I want a shot of scotch, one for you, GoatVsFish. Who is saying this to GoatVsFish? Does JWP Streams want a shot of scotch for GoatVsFish? Shot of scotch for GoatVsFish for 10 bits? 10 bits for a shot of scotch? We think maybe we need a few more verses.
Don't push my arm.
10 bits, do a shot of scotch. Can you find, we know that the verses are cheaper out here in Fencey, Ohio, but 10 bits for scotch? That seems even very low verses.
Sit right here.
We are in Ansonia, Ohio for WillyTown Fest.
I'm right.
We're already in the, like it's in French, dans bar. We're in the butter. We're in the bar.
Come on up.
How many acts tonight? How many acts tonight? Well, there's definitely GoatVsFish.
GoatVsFish, YesImJon.
This is the pre-verses. This is the pre-verses of WillyTown Fest. The verses truly begins next verses, but if you got on down to WillyTown, you would see bonus acts every verses.
I'm sure, yeah. That there would be
Look at the YesImJon show. It's a YesImJon show. I'm a goat.
Mightiest of goats.
Mightiest of goats.
Once the sound is live, the acts begin.
Where's the electrician?
JWP Streams, if you want great audio in the verses, first verses, get on down to WillyTown. You'll hear it best if you are here. Second verses, you can watch the Glowstick Willy streams. When you are watching GoatVsFish, you're getting ground level verses. We are moving about. That which we are using to perceive the verses, we are also using to hear the verses. You may say, oh, the mix sounds a bit fancy. Well, GoatVsFish is just roaming around the verses. You're just getting what GoatVsFish.
There's no mix.
Be grateful for GoatVsFish. Be grateful for the mighty verses.
And if you're not grateful now, you will be. You will be.
Act 1 is now, true verses.
I suppose so. I suppose it is. The first verses.
Yeah, and so they rigged up the Jeep this year and drove out.
Let it begin. Now we wait for electricity.
You need the power of GoatVsFish. Well, we have this.
This should run the stage.
Yes, just a little GoatVsFish.
Yeah.
Powering now.
We are trying to see if we even have any.
My neighbor Kate.
It looks like full verses.
Can we get electric before that? What time's electric? She's a travel nurse and she took.
He still answered that question. Did you ask him?
She worked all through the whole.
I asked him too.
We're ready. What time's electric?
He doesn't know.
She was just like, she needed
I'd be willing to bet he has no idea.
Hey John, who did you bring down with you? Asks the chat of GoatVsFish.
I came alone, but the squad's on the way. They're coming in a convoy. They'll all be here by Thursday night. They're all coming. But I rode alone, like a, lone wolf, lone goat, a lone shark. But not the kind you're thinking. The stay awake shark.
Stay awake shark. Stay awake shark. The very clever versus stay awake shark. We like that. Listen, don't let any fence sitter tell you that stay awake squid is the true versus. Shark is fish. Stay awake shark. That's truly the verses.
Yeah, some fence sitter was like, oh, what if it was a stay awake squid? And I thought, well, what if it was a stay awake shark? I like sharks better. They're mightier. You know,
they versus goat.
A squid is kind of fancy. You know, it's not really a fish. Would you count squid as a fish? No.
Tiki Taco Tony, did you see my fence redeem goat versus fish? We should change the redeems so you do not redeem them and wonder what the fence happened to them. But if you want a fence redeem, here's your fence redeem. Now. Fence redeem.
Lots of fence. That's what I mean. Fence. Quarter mile of it.
Quarter mile of fence?
I have a quarter mile of fence. I have fucking heads left in the warehouse. And I need to get you an electrician out here, Eric.
How much fence is going to be at WillyTown Fest?
At least probably a good 0.3, 0.4 miles.
Wow, that's a lot of fence.
Not counting their fence. They got a big ass fence.
It's going to take a lot of goat versus
We might
fish.
have a whole mile of fence around here, honestly. Where's he at?
We'll find a way. We'll find a way through the fence. Ooh. Look at these kicks.
Oh yeah. LizzVega bought them for me. The big Pats. The Ewing 33s. We don't fuck with those Jordans. Do we, Liz? Ewings.
Woo! Fence has moves.
If I was on a basketball court, I'd be like, sweet. Give me a basketball.
Whoa! Oh! Oh, what?
Oh, yeah.
Shadow versus, shadow versus.
I'm ready to sell it.
Shadow versus.
I said the price. Everyone's carrying this shit around.
I said, Eric, price me some stuff.
Watch out for that fence.
Spinning back.
Fast, I'll get him that.
Oh, I'm so quick, John. I'll fucking wrap you up. Choke you out in a sec.
I don't know if you can choke me out. I don't know if you got
Don't forget, I think I was 6-1 in the cage.
In the cage.
One was a backyard throw. So that was
On the cage.
That was my loss. Backyard. It was in the mud. I slipped.
Excuses, excuses.
You see, it can only win when it's surrounded by fences.
Yeah,
I
right.
sank my face in the mud.
It draws its power from the fence.
When I came up, I was drowning in mud. I came up to take a breath.
You can't even plug it in.
Yeah, that's cheap.
I'm too quick. Nobody can punch me. You just saw my trainer, though.
So
You see the mud. The mud is where the land of the goat and the sea of the fish intertwine. The way to get the best of this fence creature is to give it as much goat versus fish as versatile, as much goat versus fish as versatile.
And you were going for it. Damn.
Damn.
And he was like, I was like 19, 20. He's fucking 14. He beat my ass.
all right, we ready for these legs?
All right, we're off the top. And,
Drop top.
So here's the verses. Yes, I'm John Goat. You just have to be 14.
You heard that? ShrimpyMoe got beat up by a 14-year-old. Tell everyone you know.
We heard it. We heard it. Do not despair. This is not the first verses for goat versus fish. Tiki Taco Tony's abandoning goat and climbing on the fence. Tiki Taco Tony, no! Get off the fence! Get off the fence, Tiki Taco Tony. It's not safe up there. It's not safe on the fence, no. Get off that fence. Right, this very verses. Are you goat or fish?
I'm in the Lucas Soccer Park. I used to live in Ohio. I used to live in outside of she took us out. The first time I see her, like, you feel like when you're a kid, you feel like, they meant it. It's not a fucking phone. They fucking meant it. They were real literal. Yeah, I really did.
Danger, danger. High fences. One blue strat is being told that Tiki Taco Tony has gone mad and abandoned goat. Fence madness. Fence madness. Not fence madness, please. Please, not fence madness. Come back to goat. Abide by this fence.
go this way or that way? This way on this one and that way on that. Okay. All right, ready? Let's go. All right. Hang on, close. Down, up a little bit. Now down a little bit. Catch me. Looks like it's lined up, but yeah. Oh, wrong hole, guys. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Move it that way a little bit. Move it that way. Yeah, there you go. Got it first hole. Yeah. All right, move it this way a little bit. The other side did. The other side went so nicely.
It is lined up though.
It seems like it's lined up. Give me that hammer. I'll pound through.
How about that?
Something's, yeah.
Yeah, you have it.
Yeah, see, it's kinked, like the bolt's kinked, so.
You gotta pull it out.
Pull it out?
Yeah.
All right. Oh shit, I was looking right through it. It was perfectly clear.
But it meets on the other side.
All right, hang on, there we go. It looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it's gone. I got the start of the thread, but.
Do we have another bolt right now? I'll go on the other side and work it.
I'm wondering if. I can see that it needs, like, this is off. It needs to go, like, maybe that way a little bit.
Live.
I got a trick right here.
Always, forever.
The other side was like butter. The other side was like butter. Hang on.
Okay. That's a smart trick, dude.
Yeah, but I can't.
That's a smart trick.
It is cute how YesImJon thinks they are working. It is.
Take it out. Take it out.
Stick it in the other side. Well, that could be the problem. Is if the bolt's
That's for the
wrong
other-
fucking side. Hang on, because when I pull this, it's gonna drop.
No, I have it.
Oh, you
I
got
have
it?
it locked.
All right. Hang on.
Okay, I'm taking it out. You guys.
Yeah. Oh, come on. It took a fucking Canadian to convince. No, but that's the wrong side. Look at that. That's
Celebration.
That's the wrong side,
There's
man.
another nut over there.
Celebration for Canadian goat.
Take the bolts out of the fucking legs.
We need to walk.
Get a kink
Technically,
bolt.
Bolt's kinked, but it'll work.
Please, you ask if
Wouldn't
we are
fly.
live. Do you wish? Do you wish to be
I
perceived?
wouldn't send this flying, I'll tell you that much, because we need something to fill this gap here.
Oh yeah, well this is basically
Welcome.
just to hold these fuckers on.
Welcome to Goat versus Fish. Welcome to Goat versus Fish.
Yeah, they're basically just
How y'all doing out there?
How are you all doing out there? Answer this one. Answer this one. A critical question has been raised. How are you all doing out there? What brings you to WillyTown Fest?
Friends and music.
Friends and musication.
Family.
Alright, we got it.
Family as well. Celebration.
Celebration.
I am Goat versus Fish, the Goat Fish. Have you ever heard of Goat versus Fish until this very versus?
Yeah, I remember you from last year.
Ah! It's
And
the
Birds of a
return to
Feather,
Goat
too.
versus Fish. Ah, you were there as well. You were there as well. Yes.
Yes, sir.
And are you goat or are you fish?
I think I'm a fence sitter.
Yeah. We in there?
There we go.
Are you sure you remember goat versus fish?
Yeah.
Fence sitter. Fence sitter. We have our first fence sitter in the well. ShrimpyMoe is on the fence. You should go talk to. You should go talk to JayMoe. JayMoe's on the fence
I
too.
remember you did the chip challenge.
The one chip challenge. Oh.
I lost my Canadian
It was a challenge for goat versus fish, but the one chip challenge. Goat versus fish, we could goat that versus we could fish that versus. The real challenge for goat versus fish is getting you off the fence and choosing goat or fish. That's the real versus. What would it take? What would it take to get you off the fence? What are you waiting for? What evidence do you require? What are you waiting for? A bribe from goat or fish? Or what is this fence
I
sitting?
haven't found enough good evidence to make me go either way.
Not enough evidence, says the fence sitter. Who is that on your shirt? Asks Bologna Factory. Who is that on your shirt?
That is Frank Zappa. Pancake Festival.
Frank Zappa Pancake Festival versus
St. Alfonso's Pancake Festival.
Did you attend this?
Yes, I did.
Oh, it was just a recent versus.
Yes, this is recent.
Tell us
this year.
Tell all the Goat and
They
Fish in
have,
chat about this jam cake versus.
They have free pancakes with weed butter, THC butter. If you would like, you can have Jim Beam syrup or regular syrup. Both terrific. 43rd year they've been doing it.
Did you consume? Did you get very high on the fence?
Of course I did.
Very high on the fence. What did you see from so high on the fence?
Everything.
Everything! Including Goat versus Fish. Should hope so. Fence sitter, if you do not have your fence card from last verses. Oh, well, what? Just take Goat versus Fish. Just take Goat versus Fish! Fence creature!
Thank you, sir.
Always think Goat versus Fish. Always think Goat versus Fish. Let us see. Do we have... You never have that fence sitter when... Ah. To remind you of the unpleasantness of your fenciness. Ooh.
Thank you.
Always thank Goat versus Fish. We've got a fence sitter. We have a pancake consuming fence sitter. DragonBallz325 will be here in 5 minutes. Celebration.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Celebration. There is no good or evil, only Goat and Fish.
Last leg. He's going to lift it up, slow it out. You just have to pick these things up and walk them.
And now for our next verses. Celebration to the 41 watching Goat versus Fish. If there is a mod in the chat of Goat versus Fish, please tell Goat versus Fish on Twitch how many does it say are viewing Goat versus Fish? International Space Bacon, it is pleasant to have you back in the verses. Shout out to International Space Bacon. GlassMoonMan 42, not a mod. You should be a mod of Goat versus Fish. GlassMoonMan should be a mod of Goat versus Fish. GlassMoonMan takes care of Goat versus Fish. GlassMoonMan, mighty Goat. A happy versus. GlassMoonMan Goat, did you say you were returning to the verses later this verses or next verses? It almost looks like they know what they're doing. I'd return the next 3 to 4 verses. Is there something that is needed by Goat versus Fish? Is there something that is needed by Goat versus Fish? Is there something that is needed by Goat versus Fish? Goat versus fish could always use something to consume. We could always use something to consume. But we suspect there will be a large consumption happening at the end of the verses. We think goat versus fish is celebration. We think goat versus fish is celebration. But you may, of course, bring any offering you wish to goat versus fish. Miss Troy 42, thank you for following Goat versus Fish. Miss Troy 42, thank you for following Goat versus Fish. Oh, it's a noisy one. It's a noisy one because this versus we are preparation for WillyTown Fest. We are preparation for WillyTown Fest. The mightiest best of verses. Brought to you by MC Goat vs. Fish, by Master of Celebration Goat vs. Fish. We're the goat and the fish. The verses on Goat vs. Fish. Celebration for following Goat vs. Fish. Are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or fish? That is the question of Goat vs. Fish. That is the question of Goat vs. Fish. Are you goat or fish? That's the verses. The verses. Thank you for loving Goat vs. Fish. Well, if it's not versus, if it's not the versus. Oh, GlassMoonMan. Just wait one versus. GlassMoonMan. If you do pick up consumption for Goat vs. Fish, remember that Goat vs. Fish is gluten-free because the G and the F of gluten-free are the G of the goat and the F of the fish. So if you do pick up a consumption for Goat vs. Fish, make sure it is a gluten-free versus celebration. And now, joining Goat vs. Fish is the one, the only. It's DragonBallz325.
Goat versus fish.
Goat versus fish. DragonBallz325 is live on Goat versus Fish. Welcome to the verses. Welcome to the verses. DragonBallz325, how was your great journey to WillyTown Festiverses?
It was very long.
Very long.
Long verses.
But you have just arrived now.
Yes.
Celebration. You have hydration of your own. There is so much hydration there. Hydration of the fish. Are you goat or fish?
I am goat.
Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. So this versus we have two stages for WillyTown Fest. Last versus there was but one, but now there is one for the goat and for the fish. What is your expectation? What are you hoping to see here at WillyTown Fest?
Good times, good verses, and celebration of the goat.
Celebration for goat! Well, we can definitely give you celebration for goat, celebration for goat, celebration for goat. We have DragonBallz325 live in the verses, and we like how you're repping yourself. Representation of yourself. That's a solid verses.
Clever verses.
It's a clever verses. Representation of yourself. Have you said salutation to the other goat and fish?
Salutation.
Salutation. And how do you expect the fish? The fish are going to be coming strong this versus. How are the goat going to triumph?
We are all going to come together and then versus.
A coming together. All goat. Calling all goat.
Calling all goat to verse the fish.
Calling all goat to verse the fish. Calling all goat to verse the fish. Well, let's get you to saying salutation to some other goat and fish. Let's get you to salutation. Come about, come about. Look who's here. It's DragonBallz325 following Goat versus Fish. Please follow Goat versus Fish.
How are the verses?
Verses are mighty. Some suggested that Goat versus Fish should be doing work, but others say that Goat versus Fish should be documenting the verses. It's an interesting conundrum for Goat versus Fish. It's an interesting conundrum for Goat versus Fish.
Hey, Ralf, hang up.
Ralf off the fish. Where is that goat? Where is that? Ah, there's. Yes, I'm John. Yes, I'm John is there. But look, Ralf off fish. Look, it's DragonBallz325. Celebration.
Oh, yeah.
Celebration.
Celebration.
Celebration. Ralf Mowf the Fish, you just had your first verses. And here comes, ooh. Let's go about it this way. We have Matt Suarez the goat. We have Matt Suarez the goat. Goat versus fish. Goat! Yes, I'm John Goat! Get your posterior over to goat versus fish right this very verses. Look who's in the verses! Look who's in the verses!
You made it. Welcome to WillyTown. Yes, sir. Set up for an stage right now. That's the glow stick stage. Just a hard day of working, you know? You look pretty greasy. You know how it goes.
How's the liquidations?
You know, after driving through Ohio, it smells like a stinky fish.
It does smell about it. Does smell about
It has that aroma.
Stinky Fish, Ohio. We have been smelling. Some would say it smells almost like a manure of goat. It smells like a goat manure.
Smells like a fence sitter.
It smells like a fence sitter. But goat versus fish just smells the fresh verses of WillyTown Fest. Breathe in that WillyTown Fest verses. Yes. How is the liquid death libations? We see you have your hydration.
We have purified water.
But we also have not sponsored by Goat versus Fish. We also have liquid death, and Goat versus Fish has been consuming liquid death, and we're still here to verse about it. And we see here some a FENCEPOSTER. There's a FENCEPOSTER in with the fish. FENCEPOSTER versus in with the fish. What are you doing here? That's a bull. Are you goat or fish? Are you goat or fish? But goat versus fish could just consume this all verses. Truly, we could always consume more hydration. Goat versus fish loves hydration. Loves hydration for goat versus fish. More hydration for goat versus fish? Mighty verses. Well, you have to take care of goat versus fish. You can't just have a fest of verses and not have hydration for goat versus fish. It would never verse. Would never verse.
Look, you have to give me a golf cart.
They gave you a well. Can we take?
I kind of just took it.
Can we take goat versus fish?
Yeah.
For verses?
I'm gonna go pick up some more lights.
Be careful. Don't mess up the goat.
We'll keep the goat
versus cargo safe. Buckle up, goat.
It's like that time we almost got away.
Throw the fish out.
Are we ready? Are we ready for a versus? Are we ready to really see WillyTown Fest? No.
I mean, we're not going far. We're just do a quick loop.
Oh. We're watching the goat. Oh, well, if it isn't... ZenWayOfHarmony, welcome back to Goat versus Fish.
Welcome back to you, too.
Are you goat or fish this WillyTown Fest?
I am fish.
Celebration for fish!
I have always been fish.
Celebration for fish!
Must counter the goat.
Must counter the goat.
All
Must
body
counter the
parts
goat.
inside.
Yes, I'm done. Let's verses.
Let us verses.
Do
a little loop around.
Show them the verses. Let's see them about. Show them what they're missing at WillyTown Fest. The spacious land of goat.
You got the vendors. RV spots back here. We are on a mission of lighting. We're going to pick up some lights from ShrimpyMoe RV. I take us all around the verses. I just don't want to get in trouble, you know. I don't want to overstep my verses, you know.
As you wish, Goat. As you wish, Goat. As you wish.
I said, hey, ShrimpyMoe, I'm taking a golf cart. He said, okay. Don't lose the key. As if I'm the one to lose the key.
As if you are. Did something happen earlier on your verses to? On your verses to Stick Willy Glow head verses?
Previous verses where I didn't know where the key was.
Oh.
And he locked it in the Yukon.
Oh. Want to see some Goat versus Fish? We know you do. Whoa. Whoa.
Let there be lights.
Celebration Bologna Factory. We shall ponder this. And here we have a fish. We have a bonefish. And we have lots of fence creatures. But in case you thought it was all fence, do not despair, because we definitely have fish! We've got fish! We have fish. And not only do we have fish, we've got Goat versus Fish! We've got Goat versus Fish. Aim high with Goat versus Fish. And we have Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish, and we have Stick Willy Glow, and we have Goat versus Fish, and we have Stick Willy Glow, and we have Stay Awake Squad. Double the staying awake. In case you're sleeping on the Stay Awake Squad, there's double Stay Awake Squad. Shout out for YesImJon, and shout out for Glow Stick Willy. And Goat versus Fish. And Goat versus Fish by Folsham Art. Join the Goat versus Fish sticker club on Patreon and get more Goat versus Fish decals like this. Plenty of Goat versus Fish. Look at that versus up there. The high versus. There's Glow Stick Willy, Goat versus Fish, and the Stay Awake Squad all in one versus celebration. Celebration. We have more Goat and Fish joining the verses. More Goat and Fish joining the verses. Moobot Goat. Bologna Factory Fish Goat. Bologna Factory Fish Goat. Damn fool. Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish indeed. A fish is a fish. Celebration. Welcome to Goat versus Fish. Yes. You can. Follow me. I am Goat versus Fish. And you want to help with setup.
Yes, for vendor.
For what?
Vendor.
For vendors, yes. Before you do, however, there is one critical question you must answer. Are you Goat or Fish? Celebration for Fish! Celebration for Fish Vendor! We will show you where to be. And we will award you the fish. for choosing fish. I am Goat versus Fish, the master of celebrations of WillyTown Fest. Here's your fish. Fish, celebration for fish. What are you vending, Fish?
Oh, art.
Art. Oh. Classy versus classy, artful fish. Goat versus Fish. Let us see. So this one just under here, this shirtless fish. That is Ralf Mowf the fish. And they can answer your verses. They can surely answer your verses.
Come on, bro.
Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish.
So I question you, goat fish or fish?
You didn't quite say what's the verses?
Goat or fish?
Goat or fish, goat or fish, goat or fish. How dare you question? Goat versus fish, the mighty goat versus fish. With the one true question. You have these ones here. I haven't even chosen goat or fish, and you question goat versus fish.
Is this unheard of?
Oh, we hear it every verses. We hear it every verses. But yes, that one is the one who's speaking to Ralf. Ralf. It is Ralf. It is Ralf, and it is a part of Glow Stick Willy. So that one can speak to you, Fish, all about the verses. Always thank you, Goat versus Fish. And there might be another one to speak to, but this is a fair versus. Ralf Mowf the fish. This is a vending fish, and they have a question about vending at WillyTown Fest.
Dustin Smith is running around here on an orange golf cart.
Almost.
That is his, yeah, it's Dustin's running it. He's gonna be the best to know. He has all these flags marked out for vendors, but I think they're kind of jogging a little way. So I don't think I have his number.
Like a half inch.
Always thank you, Goat versus Fish. We give you the information.
Half inch still?
A little bit more.
Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Artful vending fish. Artful vending fish. Ooh, fence sitters. We see some fence sitters over there. They're sitting Fencey, all right. It's Goat versus Fish. Welcome to Goat versus Fish. They're running at Goat versus Fish. They are running at Goat versus Fish. Listen to their small voices. Welcome. Welcome to Goat versus Fish.
What's that on your head?
It is a crown that says Goat versus Fish. What's that on your head?
Nothing.
Nothing on your head.
Hair.
Oh, my verses.
I got candy.
Ooh,
What's one?
you are offering candy to Goat versus Fish.
Is there one?
Well, they say don't take candy from someone who you don't know if they are a goat or a fish. Are you a goat or a fish?
Fish.
Celebration for fish! Celebration for fish! Fish dance. Why do you choose fish? Why do you choose fish?
Because I watched some fish videos.
You watch some fish videos. That's a nice verse.
Well,
Is that a YouTube video?
This is a live stream on Twitch.
What do you know something? If I find a fish, why do kind of like poo noodles? I go find a fish.
Go find the fish. Go find the fish. Go seek out fish everywhere. Seek out fish in all verses.
Which one are you, goat or fish?
What are you, goat or fish? Are you would question goat versus fish when you have not even answered the one true question of goat versus fish?
Actually, that is kind of true.
Are you goat or fish? Fish! It's another fish! Celebration for fish! You have another fish! You have another fish!
He's my little brother, so.
I'm gonna go catch him to be my pet.
Fish brothers, fish brothers.
Which one are you, goat or fish? Fish. Okay, fish.
Fish as well? 3 fish? It's a 3 fish versus. It's a 3 fish versus. Celebration for fish. Well, here's a fish for all of you fish to gaze upon the mighty fish. To gaze upon the mighty fish.
Hey.
Well, we said you could gaze upon it. We didn't say you could carry it off and run around. We have dealt with small ones such as you. You give the small ones a fish. Next thing you know, that fish is halfway to across verse America with the fish.
Or
Fish.
Or his head ripped off.
It's fish.
Fish.
It's fish. Kiss for fish. Kiss for fish. Kisses for fishes. And what do you say? Oh, what has happened? Goat. Goat. What do you say to the goat? What do you say to the goat? Headbutting. The fish headbutt the goat. The fish headbutt the goat. Oh! Goat got a taste of its own verses. What is it you wish to see? The goat? Oh! Oh, my verses. Oh, my verses. Oh, my verses. Oh, fish. Oh, goat. Goat is not you. You headbutt the goat once. Now the goat is prepared. The goat is prepared now to verses.
By the way, that's a balloon.
Oh, well, it is called many things. We definitely call it goat versus fish.
By the way, do you want some? By the way, do you want water or something?
Thank you for this offering. Goat versus fish has hydration here, and we are consuming it now. It is hydration.
Even dogs are good. Kittens.
Kittens. Is a kitten? What is a kitten?
It's a cat.
What is a cat?
It purrs you. Meow.
Is it some kind of? We've heard of a catfish. Are you talking about a catfish?
Oh yeah, those things that have the whiskers and it's a type of big eye.
But also, there's something called real cat.
Like this.
There's a real cat. That sounds fence-posterous to go. A real cat?
Like this.
No way. There's only goat and fish. There's just goat and fish. What is this cat you speak of to goat versus fish?
Catfish is like this.
And something called a dog. By the way, I'll go find. Do you know something? My cat dog.
This is pitiable to hear.
Candy?
We do enjoy sweet offerings. We do enjoy
Hey,
sweet
how about
offerings.
you can take those plushies off and take that thing off and put like cat versus dogs?
Because cat versus dog is a false versus.
What do you know?
And the true versus is goat versus fish.
Well, actually.
You come up to goat versus fish, you say, oh, goat versus fish. Well, we like you and all, but why don't you just change your whole verses to cat versus dog? False versus. We are goat versus fish.
You know why? Because cats fight dogs, dogs fight cats.
But which one is the goat and which one is the fish?
Cat's the fish, even though cats eat fish and dogs eat goat.
So the dog is the goat and the cat's the fish.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's goat versus fish. Then we'll replace goat versus fish with a cat and a dog if it's goat versus fish.
Oh no.
Go say versus. You can go say versus to grandson.
My name is Elijah Miller.
Elijah, pleasure. Let's yes. Pleasure to versus with you, Elijah.
My name is Ella.
Pleasant to versus with you, 3 fish. And we'll see you around WillyTown Fest.
Yeah, we're probably going to be coming over tomorrow.
Celebration.
I'm going to be checking out that video.
Please do. It is all at, you see where it says GoatVsFish? That's where you can find it on the Instantgram and the Twitterver and the Book of Faces and Twitch and the YouTubes and all that verses.
Oh, YouTube?
Did you remember those going pools?
I'm going.
Oh, we would go into the pool of the Sea of the Fish. We have swam with it.
I'm going home right now and we have internet there, so I'm probably going to look up goat versus fish.
Okay, please do. Celebration. Celebration for fish. Celebration for 3 fish. 3 tiny fish. Celebration. Celebration for the 3 tiny fish. Goat versus fish. It's goat versus fish for 3 tiny fish. 3 tiny fish in the verses. You may say, oh, goat versus fish. We did not get to see that verses. You got to hear the verses. You got to hear the verses. You got to hear the verses. Tiny gentle fish. Smoke drugs. Welcome to goat versus fish. Woo.
Wow! Surprise! It's so fun! Yeah, we get to meet fun and interesting people. See? Look at you guys. Jesus Christ. You did it.
I'm a person. I'm a people.
It's like the army. You get to see the world.
Wait, the verses. Wait, are you goat or fish?
I am goat still.
Goat. Celebration for goat.
Oh wait.
You have to be careful of these ones. Soon. They get out of the influence of goat versus fish. They start saying they're people and all kinds of things that don't goat or fish.
You're correct. I forgot my identity.
Identification for goat. Identification for goat. Celebration for goat. WrenchedStallion goat. WrenchedStallion goat. Celebration. Celebration. You have to keep reminding the goat and fish about goat versus fish. You must remind them about goat versus fish every versus. Long-time card-carrying member, yes. Goat versus fish met an ancient card-carrying member just yesterday versus. Mediocre personality celebration. Smoke drug celebration for goat. 3 young fish. Lots of old goat here, but there were 3 young fish just over there. 3 young fish. Three young fish. 3 young fish. See how they verse. Are you drunk, goat, or a drunk fish? 666. Welcome to Goat versus Fish. Well, we are drunk on the Sea of the Fish. We are drunk on death. Not sponsored of Goat versus Fish.
It don't matter which side.
Hard head area. Okay. That means I'm going to take an extra step.
Exclamation gas to make a contribution to the fueling of Goat versus Fish.
Gas can down here. Yeah.
Checklist. The first thing on the checklist, do you have gas? And is the
Well, this is the thing is all the shit that can possibly fly off.
Ooh.
Fair enough.
How much do you think you got?
I don't work in gallons, so.
How many milliliters wrench?
You probably have like a gallon and a half. Did you put these on the side? What? What happens? Here's an example. Gallon is.
All right, we're ready.
Yeah,
There's a latch right there.
There shouldn't be a cap on it.
America. All
This
right.
is America, dude. We let our gas cans fuck. We let the
Oh,
gas flow.
I don't want to be on the string. America.
America.
here.
I'm sorry, eh?
I'm fucking sorry.
Sorry, eh?
The gas fish. What do you know about that?
Gassy fish?
Gas fish. The fish that lives in gas.
I think we've gone through about half of it.
Gone through about half of it?
I think so.
All right, that's good. You can choke it off.
You need some for taking it down too.
Yeah.
You good?
Yep.
I don't want to spray it all over you. Out of there?
Yeah, you're good. All right.
Hey, Ralph, why'd you pull that out?
Hard hat area.
We have the protection from goat and fish. If anything were to fall on goat versus fish, we've got goat and fish. And here we have hangover fish. Hanging some embrightening about.
Having a good time last night. I must have been. I drank 3 different types of alcohol. Had a hell of a time, they told me. I didn't fall over. No, you didn't fall over. You let out a few secrets.
How bright is Goat vs. Fish?
No, I don't want to know.
Goat vs. Fish is very bright. Just look.
Alright, now put these 4 there too. Spread out 4 more. Like, I think 2 more should go right here, please.
Sure, he'll do it. You'll be like, oh, I want these in a different spot.
How loud is Goat vs. Fish? Well, Goat vs. Fish is quite loud.
There you go. Oh, you're taking the card back? Oh,
I'm going to drop the card off and then y'all do it.
Alright, that'd be wonderful. If we have the lights up,
How loud is Goat vs. Fish? Quite loud. Don't park here.
I'll park there. Yeah, just make sure. Yeah, remember that Josh is no always right about the sunrises by himself. Is that true? They're already done. Good answer.
They're not numbered like the other ones.
Quite an idyllic versus.
Yeah, I have 40. If I face it this way, they say
Come on down to WillyTown first. See the verses. Woo. What has happened?
Oh yeah. That would lift the spirits.
Radio? Who needs radio?
Radio and soda pop.
Are you taking?
See the passing ones, who should all come here to WillyTown first. Passing by, they do not know they pass by Goat vs. Fish. They could turn in and experience the one true verses, but no.
These ones are on different radios. Is that gonna piss you off? I have them off.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, he's pointing out like I want my light here and I want to look like this on my screen. This side, but Eric told me to come here and just stand around and talk to him, not work. Are you gonna Trabajo, motherfucker? Give me a second to get my fucking beard. Jesus criminy, you guys are killing me.
Oops, has been working too hard. This boy doesn't know hard work. He can slap it in his face.
I've been working for fucking 2.5 days. I've been holding people's hands.
The fat one.
Not only am I physically working, I'm psychologically working. You fucking
Let's do this one first, though. So grab the other bolt.
Complains how it complains. How it complains. How it complains to Goat vs. Fish. Ooh, and look at the Musications. Look at the Musications. Look at the verses of Dylan Cottle. Dylan Cottle knows how to set up a fine verses. Goat vs. Fish has been there before. Goat vs. Fish will return again. Come on, Goat. Come on, Goat. Come on, Goat. I see you ate one before. Welcome back to Goat vs. Fish. Thank you for welcoming Goat vs. Fish into your verses. Here we see Goat in its natural habitation, thanklessly doing work for Glowstick Willy.
Thanklessly. They'll be like, why didn't you do more work? Have you even done anything? Okay.
Musications. Musications, we're about to get fenced by Twitch.
Yeah, that's a good way to get... Never mind.
We will not prevention you. We will not prevention you. We comprehension. Listen, it can't all be about Goat versus Fish, except that it is always. But it is true. It is true. It may fence up Twitch.
All right, that's all of them, Eric. Is that okay to you? He's like, nah, take them all down, do it again.
I don't know if they use these guys. That's pretty even.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Oh. 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 DMCA for Goat versus Fish. DMCA for Goat versus Fish. Nice yurt, says Wow Mom. This has been a mighty versus of Goat versus Fish. There is plenty of verses to come at WillyTown Fest. It has been nearly 4 hours of Goat versus Fish, and we've given you a little pre-verses of WillyTown. It's Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish is now going to assist. Goat versus Fish is going to assist for a few verses, and we shall return. Goat versus Fish shall return. Goat versus Fish shall return. Do not despair. We are living streaming WillyTown Fest. This has just been a pre-versus. So do not despair. Lots more Goat versus Fish to come. So let's perform a radiation. Goat versus Fish shall now perform a radiation. And we thank you all for joining Goat versus Fish at this pre-versus of Goat versus Fish. Sunnyvale representation. Follow Goat versus Fish. Follow Goat versus Fish on all social media at GoatVsFish, Instagram, Twitter, Book of Faces, YouTubes. If you wish to make a contribution to Goat vs. Fish, exclamation tip to make a contribution to Goat vs. Fish. It would be appreciation. For 25 versus American dollars in tips while we are road tripping with Goat vs. Fish, for 25 versus American dollars, we will send you a magnetron of Goat vs. Fish, the fridge magnet. For 50 versus American dollars, we will send you a shirt of any size of Goat vs. Fish, all within the United Verses of Verse America, Verse America. We are at WillyTown Fest, Goat and Fish. The verses are only just beginning. We'll see you on the next verses of Goat vs. Fish. This has been a pre-WillyTown Fest celebration. This is Goat vs. Fish. Saying Goat vs. Fish. And it is not too late for you to get on down to WillyTown. If you are watching Goat vs. Fish, and you are near Ohio, go to WillyTownFest.com and get on down to WillyTown. Get on down to the verses. Meet Goat vs. Fish. Listen to the Musications. Enjoy the celebrations. You deserve verses, it. You deserve verses. Verses like this. Price Douglas Stevens, the Catfish. Celebration. DJ Couch Guy 420. Celebration. One Blue Strat. Thank you for all the entertainment, Goat vs. Fish. Stay in the chat, the stream will end, but stay in the chat and we shall perform a radiation. Stay in the verses. A radiation is coming. We'll see you on the next verses. Of Goat versus Fish. And it was written, and it was written.